picture catch yourself. I can see you dancing in the emerald. I can see you. Oh, Emerald child, there's no need to be mild. You were raised to behave, but you were born to be wild. Yannick, don't panic, Fazzle's on the way. Leeway's sliding through the ranks, and he's here to stay. I can see you dancing in the emerald. Runs a picture catch yourself. Oh, Emerald child. Oh, you go without us. I can see you dancing in the emerald bell. When's a facial catch yourself? Change is coming through the Nichibotsu. It's nature now, no one yet supposes. But don't fear now the threat it poses, 'cause everybody's ready for the rain of roses.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Reign of Roses, episode 2.5. We join Li Wei as he awakens in his bedroom. Not the bedroom that you saw him in episode 1, but rather a room in the castle's east wing. It is, compared to what he's used to, luxurious. This stone room is approaching 2/3 the size of the entire house he was in last time, and his parents rent like 1/8 of that.
Yeah.
His conditions are vastly improved, and Li Wei, how it's been now closing in on 2 years since your fortunes have been totally reversed from, what crime can I get up to in Canal Street today, to
Right.
top of Three Hill, where you never, even in your wildest fantasies of having a big house in Old Town, you never thought you'd have a room in the castle. So,
Exactly.
How do you think Li Wei is feeling these days?
Nowadays, Li Wei is feeling great. Like I think of it like this, right? When it comes to waking up, there's always those moments where he'll wake up and be ready for there to be like a little sheep nuzzling his neck or something. But then he's just like, oh, that's just my drool, because I slept so peacefully on this magnificent bed. A bed. What a novel concept. But I mean, though he doesn't think so much about crime on Canal Street as much, it hasn't kept him from thinking of crime here. It upper crust crime.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
Exactly.
In fact, you have an important scroll to pick up at a new bookshop in town today.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, well then, in that case, I imagine that. I get up. Is today like a hardcore training day, or is it one where I would?
So it's not, because this is the beginning of the weekend. Gold Day. Okay. It's like Friday basically, but Gold Day is the day when people are paid, if they are weekly workers or if it's the end of the month. But it's not. It's the 16th of April, and you are not expected to do anything at the moment. In part because Von Ortel, who is your trainer, a fairly stern gentleman, is actually out of town anyway. He's checking up on some complaints from the countryside, and you have not been sent with. So,
Great.
Yeah, Li Wei, you have the day before you a scroll to pick up, and of course, you are a part owner of a tea shop, the Fifth Watch, with your business partners. Two very reputable guys. Their names are Kedrick and Amadowin. Amadowin is also a Ritter. Kedrick, he's a nice guy, but he's not noble like you. But yeah, you've signed some paperwork and you go there every once in a while. Maybe you'll go there today, maybe you won't. You get the money either way. You just kind of put your seal on a whole bunch of paperwork. So
yeah,
Li Wei, it's another glorious day, and as we depart Leeway's bedroom, we cut over actually to Fazl. Fazl. It's been 2 years since you hunted and killed a Vazir, a creature of the Devuvion, which had somehow breached up into this realm where we find ourselves, the overworld. And in the intervening years, do you think you would have looked into that at all?
Absolutely. An undead or unliving thing kind of just roaming around.
Well, I mean, it's living, but it's a monster. It's not wildlife. It's not indigenous to the surface.
It'd be more closer to an aberration.
Yeah, or at least like you don't think it comes from another dimension, but it does come from deep underground. Yeah, give me.
It wouldn't be a soul focus, but it'd definitely be.
You look into it.
Yeah.
Give me 3 survival rolls.
Sure. It's just...
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
it rolled them all together because
a
my
6 and
sheet's
19
taking
and a
forever.
14. It's all good. What's the modifier on your rolls?
I don't know why my sheet's taking forever or why I'm like not clicking my name. Okay, there it is. It was just
Yeah, we
taking
did.
forever. 2.
One sec. This close-up is going to be slightly broken. All right, so good looking at Dionysus. 2. Yeah, so you do great. Fazl, over the years, you determined that there was a series of earthquakes that created the opportunity for these creatures to rise. Something does smell a little off about them. You can't prove it. They are all explicable by natural reasons, but they seem a little awfully convenient. A little unlikely to have occurred together. As you're poring over some of that information, just happens to, like, the final reports relating to it that have come in, you find yourself in the council chamber with Svez. And coincidentally, Leeway, you're leaving out the east wing, and then you see that someone's like opening up the door and trying to carry like really heavy boxes, and you're like, oh, I do not want to get tagged for a chore. So you head out
Yeah.
through the center wing. But yeah, so all is to say, Leeway's approaching the council chambers as Master Svez says, "Oh, Fazl, could I bother you a moment?"
Sure.
Yeah. Now, I know that this isn't necessarily your full-time endeavor, but kind of looks around. The gnome is about your height, and he rubs his beard, and he says, "There's been a bit of news. You're familiar with the court, I take it? And how much do you think Fazl knows about crime?"
Not a whole lot.
So he says, well, perhaps or perhaps not. You are a man of the wilds, not the cities.
Yeah,
Well-
mostly, mostly dealing with the people outside the city.
Yes, well, he kind of pushes up his glasses, looks around again, and says, "Between you and me, we're investigating the possibility that the Court of Stone, a mountain dwarf organized crime organization, the huge mafia that spans the Albadian Empire's breadth, might be moving into the city. Or they already have. We're still running down leads, and nothing's solid yet. But..." He looks to the left and the right, and he says, "You're friends with Leeway, aren't you?"
Yeah, he's pretty cool, I know him.
"Perhaps you could find some excuse to accompany him to town today. Now, don't mention this to him, but I am a little worried for him. You see, he's been around some of the less favorable parts of town, I'm told, from my drinking companions. we want to make sure he doesn't run into any trouble.
Understood.
Very good. And yeah, so Li Wei, you hear like the very end of him saying, "We want to make sure he doesn't walk into any trouble." When you literally walk in, Svez looks up. Now you know Svez is the master of letters. Give me 3 insight rolls real quick.
Oh, snap.
I'm calling for
Go.
multiple rolls to ameliorate them over time for either of them, but only if Fazel does a dance. All right, Greg, are you up to it? Judge Wolf with the
Oh,
dangerous
yes.
to go alone. Yes, you get to see what's happened on the off day. Oh God! So Li Wei
Nat
knows.
20.
Li Wei understands everything intrinsically about castle politics. So you know that the Master of Letters, sometimes called the Court Peacock, is 110% the Spy Master. This guy is the Spy Master. Not only that, you know he's a little close on. Yeah, it arrives. So meanwhile, you hear Yannick is in the other room being chewed out by his father, like generations of emeralds. And no, yeah, you guys are glad you don't have to worry about that shit right now.
Yeah.
And you guys are having this conversation, or rather, you know that the Court Peacock is the Spy Master. He controls all magical communications, and you know that there are people who walk around casting a cantrip called Arcane Ear. If you cast Arcane Ear, and there is a magical communication flying through the air near you, you'll catch a little bit of it. So a lot of spycraft and magical communication is just having a network of ears who walk around casting Arcane Ear, and people who can send messages encrypted. So he's a master cryptographer, he's the spy master, he's the nexus of all information in the castle. You don't think he's sus of anybody you do business with. If you were, you would avoid doing business with him, right? But you do know that, like, you know, he doesn't know that you know, if you see what I'm saying. And you're not quite sure how much he knows about what you're up to, but he's always given you a wide berth in terms of your extracurricular activities. So you don't think he's on you or anything. But you walk in and says, "Oh, Li Wei, a pleasure to see you." And he tips you and says, "I'm just off to carry these parcels." And he shakes them, and you can see there's a few letters and scrolls over, like, transcribed reports in front of Fazel. There are the ones related to the earthquakes. And Svez nods and says, "Well, I'll be off." And he heads off to his tower. That just leaves Fazel and Li Wei together in the council chamber. You've been in this room a few times, Li Wei. You're not normally brought in for council meetings, but this vast hunk of stone that has been, like, drawn up from the earth, and it's part of the floor, and it's been carved. There's roots of stone going to the ground. This is where the affairs of the realm are made. This is where the decisions of the day get made, even.
Okay, great.
And, yeah, it's just you and Fazel in here right now.
Fazel, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just, handling business. Arranging the lands. How you been?
Hey, pretty solid. Been doing some training. Ike isn't around right now, so don't have to do any hardcore rapier work. So, to relax a little bit.
Oh, hell yeah. Everyone loves a vacation.
Yeah.
Are you having this conversation stood on the table?
Yeah, he hopped up there,
Yeah,
like,
head height now.
Great.
I mean, if there's no one else in the room,
It's chilling. Just two bros, just having a
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
why would he walk around the tree, and waste time, walk around the stump?
Direct. So Fazel, you a big tea drinker?
Oh, when it's around, yeah, but I do prefer the taste of coffee.
Wait, coffee exists, right?
So there is xanth root that can be brewed into what's basically coffee.
I'm more partial to xanth root when it comes to flavor, but I do enjoy occasional tea.
You know that your tea house does offer xanth root beverages, Matt.
Great. Yeah. So I mean, look, our tea house. We can hook you up. Why don't we have a drink? We can walk and talk.
Dude, I would love to see it.
Let's go. And on the way, Leeway is probably gonna try to probe a little bit about Svez.
Absolutely.
Like-
And just out of curiosity, so you guys are in town. You're going for a walk. It's like a mile, half of which is going down and around the huge rampart into the town. Do you take your horse? Do you take your steeds or do you walk? And Leeway has free access to horses at the stable. So he could just hop on one, and he's got enough money he could just own one if he wanted to, and he could stable it in the castle. And Cha-Cha's, of course, healthy and spry as ever.
Awesome. Then yeah, I personally would prefer to take Cha-Cha, but you prefer a jaunt walk or a trot on a horse?
I'd say Leeway would definitely follow your lead here. It's like he normally would just walk around, but he doesn't want to. I don't know. He wants the same levels as we chat, just to hopefully make it feel a little more informal. So it's not like I'm looking up at you while you're on the horse or anything like that. So
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be on Cha-Cha. I don't think it's as big as a horse, is it?
No,
It's like an emu, right? Emu
It's-
size, right?
Yeah, it's your raptor size, so.
Nice.
oh,
Yeah. And
Yeah, Cha-Cha's more agile than sturdy, so it
ah.
won't do much for accounting for the height difference.
Oh, that's fair. In that case,
I mean,
is
how
there,
comfortable are you with parkour? I don't mind rooftops. I should say Cha-Cha doesn't mind rooftops.
What? I don't know if I have any horses that can parkour.
Well, I meant your legs, but
I could try.
if you could find a parkouring horse, well, look, all I gotta say is we'd be in a whole different business venture.
Right? Okay. You know what? If you want to take the rooftops, let's take the rooftops.
are we Assassin's Creeding our way? We can do this. To clarify, I have literally made the rooftops of every map we're on tonight. You had to vindicate me completely in doing so. If you want,
go!
So we're taking the rooftops. We're taking the
rooftops.
We're traveling
Oh
by the
my
rooftops.
gosh.
All right, I'll slide your horses off the map I was just getting them onto, and let me put you lads at 30 feet. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
New perspective.
Cha-Cha, get vert.
Oh my God.
Goes up a wall.
Yeah. So and Cha-Cha you can take with you as she's a spry raptor. All right. So you guys saddle up from the castle and you ride out. You find yourself overlooking the old town streets. Some people give you a look, other people just never think to look up. So you're 20 feet up, and you can, if you just a long rest button, I think you can hit Greg if you want to get like, your health and such back.
Oh yeah, I probably would have taken a long rest at some point within the past 2 years, right?
I mean, it's been a few weeks since the last session, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
That
Might
what
have
happened was
posted up at
Yeah.
some point.
what happened was like the very beginning of spring. It's the 16th of April, but yeah, no, it's been weeks. You
Where's the button for that?
The button, it is so you hit S rest and L rest under your hit dice.
There it is. Thank you.
Yeah, and so yeah, you guys are literally on the roofs. So I'm gonna say, Greg, give me either an acrobatics or an animal handling. Leeway, give me your choice of acrobatics or athletics to see how well you take the rooftops.
Great. So normally I would choose acrobatics because I'm more nimble than strong, but with my training, though it's still a little bit worse, I'm gonna try the athletics.
All right. You've been working on leg day. Von Ort,
Yes.
Icon von Ort was very strict about the leg day.
Yes.
Do not skip the leg day.
Been doing my
Lift.
squats all the time.
With your knees, not the back, the knees.
All
You're very
right.
familiar with the knees. so,
Yeah.
yeah. Fazal actually, Cha-Cha is about to Cha-Cha slide off this narrow roof building as Li Wei, you're in a great position to offer a lending hand. Now make a reroll there. If Li Wei would reach out a hand,
Yeah.
Oh, heck
yeah,
yeah.
then you can make a reroll and get pulled along.
Hey, thanks.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you clatter over the rooftops. A peasant.
Oh.
So Cha-Cha winds up. Cha-Cha.
I have a spell for this. It's so niche. This is one of the few situations I can cast a feather fall.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you pop. Okay, so what? So like, yeah, Cha-Cha and Fazal, despite your best efforts, are dipping over towards the street, and you have just the spell for this moment.
Yeah. I'd say in this case, just trying not to call attention to the fact that I'm casting this sort of magic.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be like, if there's anyone around, I would probably call out like, "Oh, there's fireworks over there!" as I cast this spell right here.
All right, give me a deception, because that's a pretty hard fucking sell. People are gonna be looking at
Fireworks.
There's a winged velociraptor falling from the roof right now. Oh yeah.
Oh,
So this
no.
dude who's like holding a basket of like leafy greens looks up and like,
Oh,
huh?
those cabbages.
And like he's looking right at you. He's looking at the fact that a goblin riding a velociraptor is descending at him. Like,
Look
like,
out
it's 20
below!
feet fall. It's not long. You got to make the decision. You got to make the cast with one peasant witness, or let him hit the stone.
Yeah, I'm casting it.
All right. I presume. Do you whip out the flute?
Yeah, in this case, it's like as I realize that, oh my gosh, this guy's gonna see it. Okay, well, I pull out the flute. I start to play just a few notes. I like to think of it as like I don't know. It's a soothing tone that makes you feel like you're supported. Feels like you're drifting and about to fall into someone's arms, but it's just the arms of my magic. Just
Suddenly Fazal, you get a really
I
cozy
kind of
vibe.
imagine a waltz.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you whip it out, you cast the spell, and Fazal, you're like, oh god, I hope I don't break my mount's knees, and then you're like, oh, this is the bee's knees. I have arrived safely at the ground. And the dude says, oh, Master of the Hunt Fazal, fancy you falling off of our roof.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I think Cha-Cha here got into some of the fermented berries or something.
Oh, you know those Vicari, and he kind of heads on, and this woman down the street also saw, and they head inside together. But yeah, Leeway, that leaves you on the roof and Fazal on the ground.
Yeah, I'll like slide down to meet
I can climb back
Fazal.
up.
Oh, okay.
Just that. She can use her claws to just, kinda.
Yeah. So we reascend. It's not the easiest ride, but you managed to make it the rest of the way, taking only the short, safe jumps. And Li Wei, question: are you heading first to the bookstore to pick up your scroll, or are you heading first to the Fifth Watch?
The Fifth Watch is my tea shop, right?
Yeah.
Are they close at all?
Oh yeah, they're not. They're kind of like at like the border of like a newer and older district of Old Town, but it's not a very long walk.
Look, if Leeway is anything like me, I want my caffeine first, so I'm going.
We're hitting
to
the
tea
Fifth
shop.
Watch. All right.
Yeah.
So
I hear it.
Yeah.
so you guys pull up at the Fifth Watch
Okay.
as we transition to Old Town, the Fifth Watch, which Foundry. Oh, why did Foundry put it up there? Life's little mysteries. Anyway, you guys proceed along the rooftops. However, Fifth Watch has walls around it in sort of like a nice little walled off zone, and like there's nothing that's too close to it because it's a nice old building in this historical district, and so you'll have to take to the ground for a moment and approach the gate over here, or you could slide around the back, but this is.
I was just looking at the back. So wow, this is well defensible. Nice job.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. I mean, it was a good deal, so it just kind of worked out that way.
Indeed. You know that the Fifth Watch has been here for a long time, but it needed to be reopened and reinvested in. So you've done your part for urban renewal.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I can like tie Cha-Cha up where she is.
Yeah. I mean, there's a post like somewhere, like off the stone, but like onto the side street where there are other buildings and such. You come over just fine. And yeah, the two of you approach.
Oh wow, this is nice.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Look, is this the first time that that Fazl has been here?
Oh, do you think it is Fazl? Fazl
I don't eat at restaurants very often. At least.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Kedrick, Amatoen. Look, this is a good friend of mine. Of course, you all should know. Master of the Hunt. The legend. So please, whatever he wants. We have xanth root. We have little scones. These little tea cakes too. Whatever. Please, fast.
So Fazl, question: do you actually pop in through the window?
Is that a window?
So
My bad.
Those are windows. Okay, no, I didn't know if it was an. So the door opens and Modern comes out and says, "Li Wei and Fazl, the master of the hunt. So it is. Please come. We have everything your heart or gullet could desire. Please come. Sit in our upstairs room." And you see that there are some commoners enjoying tea. The screen is pulled back such that you can see they're enjoying the tea and lore area. And he's inviting you over to these stairs. And
Hello. Oh, thank you for. I've been meaning to come out here for a while.
oh yes, well, you've found just the right time. We've got everything in well accord, thanks to our good business partner Li Wei. And Amadouin comes up, and you guys can just like if you walk on the stairs, it'll pop you right up. Yeah.
Oh, it's so
you
sick.
come to this nice hallway. You can see it from here. You can see out over. You can see Cha-Cha on the street. He walks you over, and this isn't a room that you've often been to, Li Wei, but you've been like basically all over. And you note that there is a massive, like the carpet here is a massive green rose, which is for the place that you live in a fairly patriotic thing to have. And Amadouin, bids you to come inside and join and sit and. Wait, Greg, is Fazl actually downstairs, or are you just exploring that?
No, I'm just very curious on how you did this and how this layer is pulled off, and just going back and forth to see this transition because it was very
so
interesting.
cool.
It's very
cool.
It is. So we're gonna
Very cool.
round table this one anyway, but you guys come over and you join with our friend Amadouin, and Amadouin says, "Oh yes, Kedrick is out on business."
Ah.
Yes. You know our friend, ever the striving young merchant.
Yeah, I can relate. But
Indeed. Well, you are an enterprising gentleman. And what about you, Fazl? Are you much one for business, or you? I'm given to understand you're more of a man of the country.
Well.
I haven't thought if Fazl would try to monetize like apiary or beekeeping,
Yeah, does he do it for like the honey, like for himself, or does he do
his
it?
family does, but I don't think he would. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's not that you never sell it. It's just that like it's a very cottage industry thing. You don't have any employees or anything.
Yeah, and then he does sell it. Like, what's he selling it in competition against his family? Like, it's kind of dumb. So,
No, I'm not not myself though. I do come from a family of merchants.
Oh yes. Well, you should talk to Kedrick sometime. He's also of such origin. And a lady comes in and she has a nice tray. We've got everything. We got the scones. We got everything here.
Yes.
And they, at their request, will prepare a nice cup of Xanth, and there's sugar and cream and milk brought out, and you have every array of option. And there's no, like mention of like, oh yeah, you owe us this much. Not at all. You're coming in, part owner Leeway here with Master of the Hunt Fazil. He's very eager, and he says, "So tell me, what news in the castle? How are things these days?"
I'll look over at Leeway like,
Things are pretty solid in the castle. Been training away, just trying to live up to my stature as
Indeed.
a Ritter. So
No, and I hate to be so forward, but I know that you're both close with him. And he kind of makes a nod, and the serving girl steps out. Oh shit! I shifted the map a moment. Serving girl steps out, and the door is closed behind her, and he leans in and says, "You're both close to Yannick. Given the developments with his brother taking the cloth of late, I'm sure he's under a great burden, as he is now sole heir."
yeah,
He's handling it well as one can.
It is a hard thing to lose family. He gesticulates and says to the carpet and says, "My family has always been a vassal of our dear overlords, House Emerald. Yes, the Rofons have a strong tradition dating back many generations. It is a heavy burden given from father to son. Duty. Not a burden we ask to bear, but one which we do gladly, nonetheless. I'm sure Yannick will come to it. You mentioned a lot of training, Leeway. Is Yannick often training as well?"
I presume so. I will say, since I mean, you know me. I've been around here. I haven't been the strongest or the best when it came to a sword and a shield, so I've been focused on that. Fazil would be the one who knows the prince's training regimen a little bit more.
And he looks over and he says, "Ah, yes, my good master of the hunt. Do regale me."
Unfortunately, matters such as that are confidential, and frankly, I just don't feel comfortable discussing them with members of not a castle.
Of course. It has been some time since I have been called to the castle, not since last year's muster.
Especially given the events as of late, it's a very strange time, so
yes.
best to keep the prince's routine as close to the best as possible. I'm sure you understand.
Certainly. We don't fear for my liege's person, do we? And he kind of let that thing. He says, "Oh, but I don't mean to disturb you while you have your breakfast and your Xanth."
It's quite a lot for Xanth in the root chat, huh?
Oh, indeed.
Heavy matters, indeed.
Yes, my apologies. My thoughts are ever to how I can best serve my liege. Although I am an urban Ritter who spends his time in the city, I am still a loyal one, a loyal servant. So anything that I should do, and of course I need know no details, but anything that I can do to forward the family's interests, I am at their disposal as always, whether that information comes directly or from friends of the family, such as yourselves.
Well, I'll be sure to pass along your well wishes and
Of course.
word of your honest work.
Oh, thank you very much. And yeah, so he says, well, I should leave you two gentlemen to enjoy yourselves. I realize I'm rather interrupting the digestion, but Li Wei, it is always good to see you out here at the business. And Kendrick will be by tomorrow sometime early. Perhaps you'll meet him then for breakfast.
Yeah. We'll have a lot to talk about. Is there any chance I could roll like an insight? Because
Yeah.
All right, I'm a little sus, but I'm curious if Amatoe is always like speaking like this. Or Amatoen, sorry.
No, it's a motto. I can type it in chat. I thought it would show up when you moused over him, but it doesn't. So, yeah, let's see that insight and we'll find out.
All right. Nat 20, baby!
Yo, let's go.
So, Amatoan Rofond is a Ritter, and he does come from a very old family, and he does come from a family of urban nobles. You don't know the details, but you know that like his family hadn't been doing too good in the last 2 generations, and he's kind of clawing their way back up. And one of the things he's doing that's a little more distasteful is a lot of business, because that's not necessarily like the ultimate snooty noble is like, well, I just collect peasant tax money, ho 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 ho. You know what I mean? Tax money is the noblest of money. Having to actually do business is a little bit below the station, but he's a Ritter and he's got a big house in the city, so he ain't doing bad by any means.
But he's hoping to like have like a fur merchant business or something, I bet, right?
Well, I mean, Li Wei, I don't know that you know this, Hazel, but Li Wei knows that there's been some import-export stuff and some import-export papers you've been signing and some duties and some other things like that. But what you know is Amatoan is a guy who does like to talk about stuff. He's normally a little more discreet. He seemed really excited to meet the Master of the Hunt. And he seemed very interested in the state of the family after Daiichi was compelled to take the cloth. And he was legitimately like curious and concerned over whether or not you thought there would be an assassination. Because, Fazl was going so far as to say, we don't want to disclose his routine.
Right.
So it seemed like he feared, like, are we worried Yannick's going to get assassinated? Overall, though, everything you said was true. But there is some aspect to it that doesn't quite click together that you're not 100% on. Like, like all the stuff about duty and his father, that's true. Always serving House Emerald, that's true. He definitely meant it when he said that he serves House Emerald and that he, carries the duty passed down to him by his father.
That's the house by the Twin Rivers, right?
So I know House Emerald is your house.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he's a Yannick Emerald. Yeah. So he's saying like I'm loyal to the family, to Yannick's family. Like I'm Sigrin's loyal man, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say from Li Wei's perspective, it kind of feels like he's trying to brown nose a little bit and maybe get a little bit closer with Master of the Hunt and thus Lord Yannick.
Yeah, a lot of the nobles have been doing that. A couple of them have made attempts to expand what sort of capital they already hold.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just wary of them.
That's fair. I get it.
No, it seemed a little harsh, but either way, it can't hurt to keep the, princess training a little close to the vest.
Right. Absolutely. Forgive me for being so open initially.
Oh, no problem. No, you didn't know. It's fine. It's fine. If anything, I'm probably being a little too paranoid, but that's what they give me the gold for.
Fair. What do you think about the food, the drink? Is it to your standard?
Oh, divine! This scone is amazing.
Right? It's nice and flaky. Look, when we found the supplier, we were just like, okay, this is phenomenal, and we just, hey, look, I think we're their biggest buyer now. So hopefully there'll be more of that. Maybe at a feast someday.
Yeah, this sounds awesome. It's just amazing.
Go back to the history of the scone asset that I just throw on these tables. One time in Frystat, Greg was just like, hey, let's go get scones ahead of this West Marches adventure. And I speed made the asset for the scone on stream.
Oh my god.
Complete with blueberry variant. I can never forget it. These things were forged under fire.
I can taste the rich history within each layer of buttery, flaky crust.
I had no idea. I just mentioned scones because I was thinking of pastries.
And I know you said that, and I was like, I have scones.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So
Great.
We love the lore scone.
Yeah.
So you guys have a nice thing. I don't know. I doubt this is going to help you with your spell slots, but this would count as a short rest if you wanted one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you have a nice time. You guys, you get your tea, you get your Xanth, you get whatever you're here for, and you feel caffeinated, fed, pretty good, out on the town. And Leeway, the only thing you have to worry about the rest of the day, really, is just picking up that scroll. And Fazil,
Yeah.
you recall the Court of Stone is who you're looking out for. Who's in, but or at least the Court of Stone is somewhere in the city, and people are trying to shut them down. And you're supposed to keep an eye on Leeway in case anybody tries to hustle him. So, well, not hustle, but like kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill was more the vibe that he was.
Yes.
It's the word we use. It's a polite word for assassinate.
Yeah. So what?
I think it's time to go get that scroll.
Yeah.
Sure.
A scone, a scroll, a scronole, a scrollone, scrolloni.
Sylvester Scrollone.
Don't clip that. Hey. What do you mean? What do you mean? I can't take my scone to go. I'm Sylvester Scroll. I can't keep it together long enough to do an impression. So, you have the Sylvester Stallone. Oh, Parker, thanks for the bits. And you guys, I don't know, you presumably just head back out, and yeah, you peace out down the stairs, and you head back out into the street. Pretty fed. There are commoners, like peasants, just kind of like milling up and down, going about their work. Various people doing various things, and it's overall, pretty standard day. Nothing giving you any pause. There's people all over, and yeah, Cha-Cha is untied, and very shortly you guys begin your travel. It's a pretty short walk. Do you guys just keep to the street? You can go over the roofs if you'd like. You can go by the back alleys, etc., etc. Entirely at your preference.
Okay, how are you feeling about staying off the rooftops this time? I'm a little bit more full than when we came in.
Absolutely. And this would be perfect because Leeway, I imagine that like when he left, he got like a little to go paper bag that has the Fifth Watch Tea House on it, and he wants that to be seen just to drum up more business.
You've got it's like a stylized 5 with the kanji for Tea House on it. Yeah, no, absolutely.
And so he's like, yeah, I definitely want to stick to the streets, especially after we had such a beautiful meal from Fifth Watch Tea House.
Some people come by.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll have like
roll performance
for myself.
Roll performance for viral marketing.
Yes. Oh my gosh. 14.
Some people walk by or kind of like nod to themselves as they think about how grumbly their tumblies are. So
yeah,
you guys, it's a fairly short trip. You pass through the streets. You arrive outside a 2-story. This is a more recently developed part of Old Town. Some of the buildings are, it still costs to live here, but it's not like the cream of the crop necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a brand new building, painted red, tall, with pink tile roof, and right next to it, the local has set up a little stop and trough, a little tie your steed and let him drink. And there are almost no first floor windows on this building, but as you go up, and it's beautifully red painted building, there are windows almost all around the second floor, and you can see tall book stacks.
Whoa.
Oh, so I'll tie Cha-Cha up and
You
buy the water and get her a bag of kibble.
And the man comes out and says, "Oh, Master of the Hunt, Basil, we rarely have such fine business as you here, sir. Yes.
Oh, hey, long time no see, buddy. What's up?
Oh, yes. Well, just tending everyone's steeds. I see Cha-Cha is in fine health and good feather. Yes.
Yep.
And...
Say hi, Cha-Cha. I think she remembers you.
Oh, an honor. And he gives a little nod. And, Basil, here's the real question. How much do you tip?
Don't I like sign this guy's check? Do I tip him? Is that even proper?
Wait. So this guy,
I mean, does he do this for the whole city for like, or what?
So this is a private thing. He just has this. He just sort of set this up in his yard because people with mounts kept coming to the bookstore and kind of tying their guys up against like the wall.
For some reason, I imagine him in my mind like as a meter maid. Like, yes, literally.
No, this is a private enterprise. Although, if you set these up routinely throughout the city, you might be able to do a lot about the horse shit on the street problem.
Oh.
Hey.
That's thinking like the Master of the Hunt, but also the Master of the... I'm not sure where I was going with that one. I think I'm gonna wave off. Indeed.
I will invent OSHA, goddammit.
But yeah, I'll tip this guy the standard respected rate.
Yeah, you give him a silver. He's thank you kindly, sir. And you head in, and you're free to approach the structure as you would. You know that the way in is right here, right up on the street, but it's got its own nice, cozy little indent.
Okay.
You see there's a tranquil little water feature here, sort of like pleasantly putting off some good vibes.
Oh wow, is that hand sanitizer? Sweet.
And Bowser's gonna wash his hands real quick before going in.
Yeah, and
really fancy and polite. This place, I like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. And you walk in and you see there's brilliant red and gold tile, tall cases, bookcases, and a metal iron spiral staircase that comes out. The door opens and closes, and you hear feel free to look around. I'm upstairs whenever you're ready to do business.
Hey, appreciate you. I'll be up in a second.
Oh, it's you. I'll get your special item ready to check out. And you hear
Thank you.
up top the sound of a rather tall, rather hefty gentleman standing, going to open a door, coming back out. And yeah, so there's a big. You see, there's a scroll stand in the back. There's some other scroll stands. There's lots of bookcases. There's probably 3 bookstores in the city, and this is the 3rd and just opened. Literature is expensive, often trades hands more from book merchants than from stores, and is, very much for the rich. Vobar, you would know, is a man who has traveled here from the east and has a fine collection and certain ideas about how one should run a proper book business. And yeah.
Great.
So yeah,
Great.
do you want to look around? Do you want to poke around the business, or do you want to head up?
Yeah, I mean, Leeway would definitely poke around a little bit, looking at some of the shelves, in particular, things that have to do with like athletic feats. I mean, there's a part of him that would want to show off a little bit next time he runs into Ike, so that maybe he can show him a thing or two, surprise him.
Yeah, so you look through manuals on that sort of topic. Roll me investigate. Truly a library use moment. Athletic feats are what he uses to go from rooftop to rooftop very successfully.
Yes, exactly. That's a 10.
You don't find what you're looking for, but you do know the guy who runs the place. You might have a suggestion.
Okay.
And Fazil, do you think you've been here before?
I do not. Also, it's a little loud.
All right, it's down a notch. Is it good? Great. Testing.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I think I can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. I turned down the music a little. So yeah, here we are, and yeah, the spiral staircase awaits. You board it from this darkened side. You come up around, and
Oh yeah, and I'll follow Leeway's lead. I don't
Yeah.
think Basil has been here before.
you arrive. You arrive on the landing. Yeah, but Fazli, you do note there's a bugbear in a big poofy hat behind the table. He's a tall man. He's got a scroll and a leather case. He greets Leeway in Yong-Tu, saying, "A long morning and a sweet night across the plains to you." And then in Daisprak he says, "Well, I see you've brought a friend. Tell me, are you here to do business? Are you one for literature?"
Yes, absolutely. You see that I'll set my bag of Fifth Watch tea house treats, and like with the top open, and say, I need something to read while I'm enjoying a scone.
Yes. That tea shop you're involved with has been doing pretty well.
Yes, have you had a chance to go by?
Too busy.
Oh, well, if you ever have time, please, and tell him I sent you.
See. And here, trade wares, scone. And he looks to Fazil and says, "I don't think we've met."
No, and I was considering giving you a scone. Because I was too busy to go. And that changed today, so...
Very good. My name is Vobar. This is, my name is Vodar Irdem. This is Irdem's elite scriptory.
Elite scriptory. Wow.
Yes.
Oh.
And this is my store. Yes. I take great pride in it. We've had these red woods imported, and the paints made just so.
Mm.
And you know that the money that's been coming in the district has in part been from the investments made in the alchemical distillery that has opened up some opportunities across town and just encouraged some growth.
Great. Great. Well, Vobar, this is Fazil, the man, the myth, the legend, the master of the hunt.
Hi.
The greatest.
I think you killed a monster with the prince once. Yes?
I wouldn't put it past us.
So the stories go. Well,
Yeah.
he reaches across the table to Leeway and, hands him a scroll and says, "Your order. But,
Thank you.
and I say this to all my customers who I do business with, it does everything it says it does, and nothing but. I offer you my discretion, but not my servitude. Take well my words. Erdem's elite scriptery is a business for everyone."
I understand. I'll take a look at this, and I'm sure I'll be satisfied. So I'll be back for more.
Yeah, so you obtain an item. What item is that? It's the scroll of you know what.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the scroll of you know what. You already know what, and I have put it into your inventory as a consumable.
Oh,
Great. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Yeah. So, he says, "Is there any other literature I can interest you, gentlemen?"
Do you have any Thought Cloud?
And he says, I know someone. It could be arranged. I'll need the money in advance. As he can tell you, I'm good for it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I've been, well, and I'll just kind of flash the scroll a little bit and say, he's good.
To you, Fazil, it looks like almost sheet music, but with strange stands and lines. This is a bodic scroll.
Oh, lovely. I have not been complimented on my singing voice many times.
I'm sure if you pulled it out a little more often, we'd, I don't know, you might be a natural and not even know it.
Sure. Either way, it'll certainly have an effect.
And he says, well, I can offer you 75 gold as a discount. You are a friend of a friend.
Oh, wow. My good man, you were earning yourself this scone, I tell you what. Let me get my checkbook.
So could I just
Yeah, you can just cut an IOU like, hello, Fazil, Master of the Hunt, 75 gold, and he
charge it to the castle coffers as
yeah,
part of
I mean the Chamberlain will pay it.
Yeah, okay.
So
operational funds and stuff like that.
Vobar says, I don't take a check from anyone else, but you are from Three Hill, Master of the Hunt. I trust the family is worth it. Good for it. And
oh yeah, just make sure not to get any scone juice on that seal. The check good for nothing.
He pokes it away. And he says, it'll be ready tomorrow.
Well, thank you very much, good sir. Here you go.
Put it on his desk.
And he takes
You
the
really
stone.
do gotta try one of these warm, though.
And says,
Yeah.
I'll be sure to. He crunks into it. And he says, oh, by the way. And then in Yong-Tu, he says, do you speak Yong-Tu?
Let me check, because I know that I did add a language. No, I don't. I speak Kiko. So I'll respond. Because I probably would know that phrase, right?
Mhm.
I mean, it's a pretty common phrase, like habla español, you know,
Yeah.
something like that.
Ah.
So I'll probably respond in Kiho.
He
No,
says,
not really.
He says, an educated man in the common tongue. And he says, well, to you, I bid farewell. And to you, he says in Yong-Tu, you should visit home sometime soon. I hear there are other visitors from other courts. And yeah, that's what Vobar says. And then he says, bows as though that was just like he was giving you a formal goodbye. And the little chime on the door sounds as another customer walks in. I'll be right with you, he calls down to them.
Okay. I mean, Li Wei will bow back before starting to head out, and
Yeah.
we'll say, Fazil,
Yo.
you remember where we first met?
Oh yeah, I remember that. I've been calling it Get Stabbed Alley, but yeah, I know the street.
Yeah. It's been a minute since I've been to see my parents, so I'm gonna head over there and check in on them a little bit, if that's all right.
All right. So, full transparency. The Master of Letters thinks something might go down soon.
And where are you having this conversation, by the way?
Oh, probably like as we leave this place.
Yeah.
Probably not like straight up in this man's office. Probably walking
Right.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on your way out. You're on your way out.
Probably like saddling up or whatever.
Mhm.
So, my friend in the mail he feels like something might go down soon, and he asked me to kind of like keep an eye on you while we do our stuff today. But I don't think you going back home is on the itinerary. We can totally do that.
Yeah.
But I think at that point it's fair for you to know that you're a target to someone, and we might want to keep our heads on a swivel. Oh,
All right.
and I'm going with you.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Based on, and he'll just kind of look and kind of gesture with his head back to like up nebulously towards the office of Vobar and say, you gave me a little hint that I should go back home, that there might be some visitors, and based on what you're saying, I can't be good.
Yeah, that's definitely something. I don't know. Something about today.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird in the air. It's one of those days.
Yeah. I think I'll need your backup on this, so I appreciate you, Fazil.
Sure thing.
And start heading home.
All right, so yeah, so you're heading through the streets once more,
Mm-hmm.
and tell me, do you how are you heading there? Like how are you moving through the streets?
I'm thinking like hearing about potential visitors and then this being kind of corroborated. I kind of feel like Li Wei would like his mind would jump to the worst possible thing right now after hearing what Fazl's saying and hearing what Vobar said. And so he's going to take the shortest route possible. If that means cutting through and finding like little shortcuts, little alleyways, then that's what he'll take. If it's the main road, that's what he'll take. Whatever is the fastest way there.
Absolutely. So you're going right now. It's like it widens out into a main road, and that's your fastest path.
Okay.
And you guys are making your way there. It's closing in on noon, which is about lunchtime, but you don't really see many people in the street.
Mm-hmm.
Making my way downtown, sneaking fast. Down.
And yeah, you guys are down at ground level abouts. And yeah, you note that a lot of the southern side streets seem to have barrels stacked there. It looks like there's some nearby carts on the far side. Stuff's probably getting dropped off and delivered or something.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so Leeway, you're a charismatic man, perhaps not the wisest of men.
Right.
Basil, your passive perception is 14.
Yeah.
You note that the street is a little emptier than it should be. You don't see anyone, but the fact you're not seeing anyone is a little disturbing.
Be ready. This is where it's going to happen, and I don't think we're going to avoid these people any longer.
All right.
Yeah. So you are right now. You guys are like in the street. There's a big house to your north. There's some to the south. Almost everything here is 20 feet tall. There's side roads. The southern ones are fairly thickly blocked. Dangerous to go alone might be found. Yeah. So there's 2 dangerous to go alones. One from Judge Wolf and one from Geonim Dionysus.
Ooh.
Nice.
Here's what you note.
Thank you.
You can see that in like the ditch, it looks like someone dropped it from maybe like an earlier murder or something, or like maybe it fell out of a box or something. There is a hand crossbow. And it's just kind of like a hand crossbow down. It's not a bad one at all. So if you wanted to, you could someone could swipe it. Oh, Jag, thank you for watering the Lee.
Are you any good with these?
I think I'd be all right with it. I'm a little suspect that it was dropped after a murder.
Yeah.
Hey, it's that,
And
it'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
And Fazl, you feel a strong wind blowing down the street. Since it's chilling your spine but gives you an idea, it's ideal wet condition to throw a boomerang to the west on this street. You'd have advantage while doing so.
Oh,
To the west. Could you ping which I'm pretty sure it's
left on your screens.
No, okay, I thought so, like all the way down. Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Indeed. So, as you look there, you guys do in fact see that the time is up on this jig. As the people have come to perhaps come calling upon you.
Great. I'll grab that hand crossbow.
Yeah. So you got the hand crossbow, and you also hear from behind Fazl. So out of a nearby it's like a nearby building opens up, and 4 people behind, and 4 people in front. A thug leading either group. And Fazl, I'm going to give you a chance to detect this individual. Let me,
Hey, Leeway, which way is your house?
Which way is my house?
if you wanted to make a second best detour, you'd cut to the north. Fazil, that's on your stats. So, Fazil, the building that you fell off earlier, there is a woman crouched there. You're not quite sure what she's there to do. But she has a dusty-looking tome at her hip, and she has a scroll in her other hand.
Okay. I'm gonna point towards the north, Basil.
Don't look down. Don't look down. Try to keep cool. Play it as casual as possible.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Basil's gonna try to pull out a pipe and pat himself as if he's looking for a lighter or a light of some sort, like a match.
It's like, play it cool. No, at 3 o'clock
or whatever direction it is.
There's a caster up on the roof.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right up to your to the northwest here at the edge of this building.
All right.
And this guy walks out and is the lead thug sort of like takes position, and he says, "Wait, yeah."
Oh, sorry, I was going to ask Li Wei.
When things go down, do you think you can kill her as quietly as possible?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so Li Wei, you want to start sizing her up as a target?
Oh, absolutely.
But you don't want her to know that you're doing it. Give me a deception to fake it.
I imagine I'm just kind of looking like, oh yeah, that's a nice looking cloud. It might be raining soon.
And says, "Might be rain indeed. A rainy day for your little enterprises." And the man in front says, "Yours to the Canal Street upstart. Always were and always will be. But now you stuck your neck where it doesn't belong. You're messing with your betters. And now we're here to teach you a lesson." And so there's some of like clubs, swords, axes on hands, a mace on his shoulder and the other thug's shoulder. You kind of pan out. This guy ducks into an alley. These two fan out, and yeah, you know that if you could get off this map to the north, Li Wei, you'd be really close to Underbridge and to Canal Street, and
okay.
And the crime there is that's your turf, even if you've been absent. You know, you've gotten people jobs, you've gotten people security. If people think Li Wei's in trouble, they're going to make sure he's safe because the network of families who benefit from your deeds is so extensive now.
Yeah. Okay.
But you've lined up your shot. She doesn't seem to, but she doesn't take hers early, so you know you can assume.
In my sizing her up, does she seem very like hardy by any means, or
she looks
frail?
like a good shot could down her. She doesn't look like the most constitutional of people.
Okay. In that case, I mean we have they're on either end of the alley. Li Wei is gonna say to Fazil, if we head north, cut that way. We'll get on my turf. I've got people. They'll help us. I think I can take care of her. As soon as I say, and I'm gonna slip in and say that maybe part of the incantation for this spell is grapefruit. But as soon as I say this word, run north. We'll cut through. And she won't be able to bother us.
Sounds good. I can make for I can give some time to, I got you.
Okay.
And at the same time, Basil, he's like been pretending he's looking for a lighter, like a match for this pipe. He's gonna turn to these guys in the back.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay, hang on. Before we start this though, does anyone have a match?
You kind of look at each other like, and they say you got some sense of humor.
it's when they look at each other, like then they turn to look at each other, is when Fazel will sickle somebody in the liver.
Oh,
Okay, so
snap.
you're just gonna like run up and
Twas a ruse.
you're gonna run up and they're gonna get done up. All right. Yeah. So they legitimately didn't see it coming. You're riding Cha Cha. So the tension is over. Now is the emerald bloom. Sorry. Now is the emerald rising.
Here we go.
Yeah. You find yourselves surrounded on either side. And so you run in for the sickle. Give me that sickle with advantage. Li Wei, you've lined up your shot. Give me that shot with advantage.
Okay. Let's go. Let's go.
How do you make a attack roll?
You just click the button attack on the item and it'll roll it.
Oh no!
The shot, the heavy wind just knocks the shot wide.
Oh my gosh! Oh,
Yeah.
at least Fazel.
Oh yes.
Oh, thank goodness.
And then I'm going to use the ranger features upon him. Fury of the Small first.
All right.
my
So
goodness.
you come up and you rip for his
and then
gut.
Famer foe, favored foe.
Oh hell yeah!
Like how much does that do each? Why did the page disappear? D4, and I think another one.
There's a blood and a palpable hit.
Disappear. How do you do the damage? Oh,
The damage button.
I see. Ooh, damn.
Ooh, nice.
Damn.
Dang, Fazel.
So yeah, that one is going right to the liver.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So how much damage is that?
14, and that's not my offhand yet.
All right. So you gore your primary enemy. When all this like ready stuff goes off, you see she whips out that scroll and it starts to burn up. Li Wei, and you realize you've just thrown away your shot as she pops hers on you.
Yep.
Oof. All right, so that's another hit. That's a further 6 slashing. You hack
So
into
20
this guy.
altogether.
Yeah.
Dang.
He's brutalized. He's beyond bloodied. He's really close to this door. Shoots out that scroll, reads it, and it
I'm also
burns up
gonna-
into green flame, flutters out into ash, and acid arrows rain down upon you.
Oh my gosh.
I am disengaging.
Mhm.
Also, he's got to roll a strength check.
All right, so he does in fact roll a strength save or check.
A save, my bad, against my wisdom DC, which I think is 13 now or 12.
I'm gonna go ahead and say he failed.
Oh, okay. Then he gets dragged 15 feet with me as I go into the building,
Okay, so we
as like insects drag him.
so are you going in through the window or the door? Or you try to bust through the wall?
I didn't know there was a wall here. I'll go through the door. This is a little door, right here.
This is a door. Yeah. Oh, that's a
Oh.
window. You want to go through the window?
Oh, my bad. This is the door, and then I'll go through the door.
All right. So yeah. So put yourself where you're gonna be, and you drag him with your sickle. The insects carry him.
Yeah. I can't go through there for some reason.
It's probably just not happy about the angle you're trying to do it at.
Oh, probably.
You're having a little trouble because you're now mounted indoors, but you know you're fine for the moment. And yeah, so you come in here. There's furniture. You don't see anybody home, but you just burst in through the front door. You have a man hooked with a sickle. Blood is being lost.
Yeah, I'm dragging him for some alone time.
Oh, did you get him all the way over there?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. You knock over a cabinet on your way up, and
It's like, come here, you.
and you upend a table, and yeah, this whole This whole house is kind of, in the shambles as you come in here to fuck shit up. All right. So, Li Wei, the ass is plunging on you.
Okay.
It's 10 acid damage. Li Wei, how you feeling?
Oh my gosh.
How you feeling?
Hey, that hurts. That
Your
hurts a lot.
fine emerald clothing, your green clothing gets green acid on it, singeing at you, burned your skin.
gosh.
You feel the heat in your chest rising, as if though, like, the acid in your stomach and outside your body could be about to merge. And we begin combat formally. Li Wei, good news.
Yeah.
You're up first.
All right, I'm following Fazl. I'm gonna run up north.
Right. And for reference, this dark patch, there's a place for a pull-down ladder where you can access the next floor from there.
Oh snap!
So if you want to get to the second story, just know that's how you go up.
All right,
Awesome.
all right, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna try. Sorry, I'm struggling to get in there. There we go.
It's all good.
Oh,
It's the door. It's like
Yeah.
maybe in the game, maybe in their reality, it's just like a stuck door. It's like a bad hinge.
is
It's like
there...
no, it's a pull. I know. Look, it says push
Right.
on the handle, but it's actually a pull.
Exactly. So can I? Okay, is it? That's a great idea. Okay, is it a push or is it a pull? Can I block it with something
Yeah,
here?
you could actually, if you want to take that table. Now, you've been exercising. Give me athletics to grab that table and prop it up to the door.
All right. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. Oh, that's a 21.
Yes.
Wait, you
Let's
slide back
go.
and you manage to jam close the door fairly fucking well, actually. And, yeah, with a thud and a swing, you have this, paper center wood-lined door. It's a traditional old town door. It's not going to hold up to too much violence, but it's got a sturdy door, sturdy table behind it now. So they're going to have to here's Johnny their way through that bitch and then move the table. So Li Wei, what do you do?
Okay. In here, I think I've got just 5 more feet of movement left, so I'm gonna head towards where the ladder
Alright,
is.
which puts you into flanking.
Uh,
What weapon is in
great.
your hand as you come here? Still your crossbow, handbow, or actually that's a one-handed weapon. You could also draw another.
Oh snap! Okay. Yeah.
Shoot him in the fucking kneecaps.
All right. Here, we're rocking and rolling. I gotta
Alright.
show off my new skills. I'm gonna pull out that rapier.
Your
and try to-
rapier, well in
try to
hand,
stab. Yes.
hand
let's
crossbow
go.
on the other. All right. So it is a street witch's turn. You don't know what the street witch is doing,
Mhm.
but she's certainly out there doing it. These groups are going to move by their lead thug. So this guy's back here like, huh? And the other two guys are like, what the fuck? And this dude runs up to the door. This guy runs up to the window. And they are just trying to bash it down. A club falls on the door. It's starting to show signs of being breached, but not quite enough to see through yet. But you see hacks of light bashing down at it. Meanwhile, this lad right here attempts to limberly slide himself through the window. He winds up just kind of like slip and sliding on the stone. The door is
Sick.
actually kind of jammed half shut, and he's banging his head against it trying to get in. That clutch of thugs does nothing further, so far as you are aware.
Mm-hmm.
It is Fazl's turn. Fazl, you have this guy rope-a-doped on the ropes, and you're in the room with him. What you gonna do?
Field dressing.
All right, the sickle comes out.
Oh
sickle comes out. Okay. You hack down his fucking leg and cut through an artery. His blood just gushes, and he cries out. As a further meaty blow puts him down to 0 as your Hornet's fucking venom just like absolutely does him up. And yeah, so there is it's a absolute squeezing bags worth of, the sound of blood just squeezing out all over the fucking place as this man like very graphically dies on the floor. It is
I'm gonna do some movements.
Yeah.
I believe Swarmkeeper. What's your gathered swarm? That's what, yeah. I'm gonna have it float me through the top of this little hatch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Yeah. Float me through the top of this hatch to the roof. I'm gonna give it a little peek, see what it looks like up there.
Yeah, sure. So you pull down to the hatch above, and you see what appears to be like, a bedroom. It has some furnishings and storage. Unfortunately, the family's didn't want a window out onto the alleys. They only have windows facing the street, but you could climb out onto the roof from them.
Oh, yeah. I'll go up into the roof. See what I can see. Wait. Is there windows up here I can see things from on the either street?
Yeah, so so you can now see, you're up here. You can see the street if you head to those windows. You should be able to see at least partially some people out there. And
okay, at this moment though, Fasol's just floating on the.
There's also a very nice, expensive hookah here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, these folks have nice taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some papers. So that's is that your go?
This is the caster lady up here.
Can you see her? Oh,
or is this
shit.
her?
So yeah, you're aware. Honestly, I'm gonna say there is one alleyway window. You'll see it by the things you can see through. But you can actually, that's what you can see. So that's happening.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So this isn't the roof. This is another room up top here.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, so yeah, I'm through here. Oh my God, who's this? Is that someone down below?
Yeah. That guy is out in the alleyway. That's the guy who ran around initially because he thought he was going to be flanking you. He thought that they were going to sandwich you in the side. He was going to come from the side. You know what I mean? They were do the front and back. He was going to do the side.
I'd jump on his head. I'm just gonna. I think I'll end my turn landing on his head, just landing on his face.
Oh my gosh!
All right. So yeah, you don't have the extra economy to do like a plunging attack, but give me an acrobatics to see how well you land on his head.
Dang.
As you dive.
Going goblin mode.
And is Cha-Cha... I'm assuming you rode Cha-Cha out there just with you.
No, Cha-Cha's eating that guy on the inside.
Oh, right. Cha-Cha is consuming this fellow. So you wind up falling prone on your ass off to the side. Not into the dirt either, onto the hard stone. As you take 5 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch!
That was Fazl's turn. Yep. And Cha-Cha's consuming the thug inside. Meanwhile, the thugs down a ways are like, get the fuck in there! And this thug just rushes up. He's dashing. He doesn't have the action economy for much more. They're making their way in. This bandit is trying to get his way in through this window. And he's slightly more successful. He gets inside and then falls on his ass. So, so he's prone, but he's in. He's like a zombie movie. They're flopping around. That's the thugs go. Li Wei.
Okay.
You
The
see,
Benny Hill song used to be playing.
your friendly compatriot Cha-Cha here, just utterly goring this man, feasting on the blood and the bones. He's dead. The guys coming through the windows are realizing that, what the fuck, and people are trying to beat down that door you've barricaded that's keeping them from coming in, and there is a pull ladder in the northeastern corner that you could make a break for if you wanted to.
All right. Yeah, I would like to go over there. I have a question though.
Yeah.
I'm not super familiar with Cha-Cha's weight. Is there any way that I'd be able to get up with Cha-Cha?
You mean
I don't want to leave Cha-Cha here.
You mean ride with Cha-Cha, or you
Like to go.
I mean, Cha-Cha is bigger than a chicken, but smaller than an ostrich.
Okay.
But also, I feel like, isn't there another window? Cha-Cha couldn't like break through that window, like, jump through it.
The first floor windows are all street facing. They're the two street facing ones.
Oh, like they're facing
South,
down here, south.
Yeah,
Dang.
so she's gonna have to get out of here. She'll have to go. She could get up. You'll have to guide her up the ladder, though. Give me an animal handling to encourage her up this pull-out stairs.
All right. Okay. I'm going to, if you don't, I'm going to give myself a bardic inspiration here.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my gosh, Cha-Cha. I know we haven't talked much, but
If you tug of war the corpse with the kind of make it a game.
yeah. It's like here. Maybe you could fetch this. And I'll just kind of like take it over there. And I will roll, and let's see if I'll need that bardic inspiration or not.
Holy shit!
Oh, another nat 20, baby!
You give a 2 to the flute for courage, but you don't even need it. Cha-Cha immediately hops to you, doing the Cha-Cha slide to the corner with you.
Oh, my goodness.
She follows.
What a smart bird!
Yeah!
She follows you up, and you
Oh
are
my gosh.
now on the second floor with the hookah and the storage and the nice Cha-Cha again. Indeed.
Yeah!
As the frenetic action just grows, more and more energetic.
Is there any chance I could pull the ladder back up after, once we're
Oh
up?
yeah. You can slam that shit closed behind them, and there is a latch for it. There's a place to slide.
Okay, great.
So, you put in the peg, and it looks like they're gonna have trouble following you up.
Sweet. Okay. I'm looking around at this point up here, just being like, where the hell did Fazzle go? Is it obvious? Like, is the window broken? Is the window open?
So there is the sounds of a dude and a goblin tangling as someone pulls in someone's head. So you pretty clearly hear from the northern window, like,
Okay.
You motherfucker!
All right.
Coop, yeah.
I'm gonna peek out, and hopefully, like, I picture that Cha-Cha and Leeway both peek out and just give a thumbs
both of you
up
giving
to
the heads
Fazzle.
out?
Yeah.
Give me that hand!
Yeah.
I'm just like wrestling with the dude.
Yeah.
So that's Leeway's go, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So so the street witch is a shot at you, but she's not taking it. And you realize it's because she doesn't have a clean shot. You're prone, meaning that she would have disadvantage shooting at you, Greg. So she's got her hand wind up. She's ready to take her shot, but she's not gonna take it until you are, like, she has a clean shot on you. You see what I'm saying? So she's already on the alleyway. She's 20 feet up on top of that roof. Spell ready, hand shaking. You're on the ground. This band is trying to fuck you up, and that's her go. I'm just marking the bandits on the side of the dude who got fucked up so that we know who they are, because they see that their guy is fucking butchered and eaten already in the span of about 12 seconds. And that's going to elicit a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
As one of them,
Oh no!
One says, "Are we getting paid enough for this?" And the other one says, "Paid? Fuck that! This is revenge. We're gonna skin that fucking bird and your goblin rider. Get in there!" And yeah, they actually have a rally. I thought they were gonna rout. That's why I did that. But no, it turns out they just made an enemy. You just made an enemy for life, but their lives might not be that long. Yeah, the door fucking breaks downstairs. Someone else, stands up, rushes, and kicks at the door. And the shit behind it. They do a bad job. They're falling over themselves. Clown car antics inside. You don't know. You don't have line of sight on what's happening in there. But this guy stands up, sees Fazil, and says, "Bad idea." And just raising his scimitar, goes for that attack with advantage against you. He arcs his blade, swishes it, and I believe a 17 will hit.
Yes.
He deals 5 slashing. He steps 1 5-foot step to the north, occupying this alleyway. Baz, on your way out, you saw there's like, and Leeway, you see this from the window. There is like a rich person house outdoor storage behind the house. So there's like barrels up in this little corral.
Okay.
And that's more or less the scenario that you're looking at.
All right.
And
all right.
those walls are a little bit lower. Like you could leap and get on top of them. So, that's it for that group of I need to delete this errant wall. I just made her. It's gonna fuck up the map. That's it for that bandit, and there is the sound of clatters and blades and attacks and swishing and bangs and yeah, it is a circus down there. Basil, it's your turn. You hear a lot of people coming to the south. You're on your back. She's going to shoot you the moment you stand up. He is going to op you if you crawl away. What do you do?
I'll do something brilliant. Is she
Let's
within
go.
30 feet?
My good sir, I wrote to inform you she's 35 feet away as the crow flies.
Oh no.
I will disengage.
Well, wait. If you crawl forward 5 feet, you're in range. If that impacts what you do.
Oh.
The crawl will take double, like it's double speed, but I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm just giving you information.
Will she shoot me if I move?
It looks no. She looks like she's waiting for you to get up because she's gonna have disadvantage if she shoots you while you're prone.
Yeah, and if you crawl forward, since you're still in melee, you wouldn't have a op attack.
He's right. Yeah. You're down. You're in the dirt. You're in the stone. You're bruised. It's some gang shit going now. What's the maneuver here? What's the play?
Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna stay prone. And I'm going to attack this man with a spell.
Oh snap!
Zephyr Strike.
Oh.
Oh hell yeah!
So
The wind flows with your sickle as you hack at his ankle from where you lie prone. The Shinobigama finds his flesh and bites deep towards the bone. Give me that damage. Alright, and give me your extra. Oh, down at 0 gaming!
Nice!
He fucking hits the dirt as you just utterly gore into his leg, and you feel the bone out, and you see it poke through his legs as he hits the ground.
And
Dang.
I'm going to swarm keep at her. I think that covers the distance.
Yeah, you crawl up, and then you have a 30
Because the swarm keep does how much distance again? Let me just double check that. 5 feet horizontally in a direction of my choice.
So you're gonna fire a beam, basically.
But either way, that Jeffers strike just hit me with 30 extra movement speed, so it actually doesn't even matter.
Snap.
So I don't even think I'm gonna use this swarm keeper thing on that guy that I just killed right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do the offhand attack at her.
What are you gonna throw something at her?
I'm running up on her.
Oh, you're gonna run up the wall at her.
Yeah, I've got 30 extra movement speed, and the movement
right.
does not provoke opportunity attack.
All
That's
right.
so sick.
So
Oh
you're
my
gonna
gosh.
Assassin's Creed right up the wall. Give me an
Oh.
acrobatics or athletics.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
some Spider-Man shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
Fazl just hisses as he like
So no.
skitters. He
No.
doesn't even, I would imagine with the double speed, he wouldn't even have to would he have to get up off crawl?
I think he does to start climbing.
What if you crawl while you climb?
Yeah, true.
So yeah, he wouldn't even. He just stays on all fours and just he would swivel at her
He
and then just skitter.
he rolls, skitters up, gets out. Do you stay just like 15 feet, like clings to the wall, attacking her, or do you go up on the roof and attack her?
We'll get up on the roof to attack.
All right, you stand up. Or you still prone.
I think for this one we have to stand up because I don't even have an advantage on the attack anymore. So.
All right, so you hop up, and so here's the thing: you finally stand up.
Oh,
She makes a firebolt at disadvantage. And you do actually hit her. So give me that damage.
yo, what if we both hit each other at the same time? That'd be
Oh my
wild.
gosh.
Oof, did you see that?
Oh my
She
gosh.
almost crit you, but
Thank
instead she fucking
goodness.
shoots the ground as you hop up with your blade.
Oh, it probably goes through her palm of her hand or something, and so she
Fuck,
could
yeah, you
like,
stab her hand. Ah!
just takes the
Hell
aim
yeah.
off.
Yeah, no, there is a deep swish and a spurt of blood.
Oh, she's the first creature hit by my thing, and I haven't used it, Swarm Keeper, yet, so she'll get moved 15 feet off the ledge horizontally.
Dang.
All right, so bees fly out after your strike and just push a needle into her. And she's desperately going to try and make this deck save to save herself. She fails it horribly, so it's a 4, and then
Let's go.
And then you want to roll the 2d6 of her 20 feet of falling for her.
I would be
Oh my
honored.
gosh.
I'd be honored to roll the falling damage.
Yeah,
Mm.
you hear a cracking sound. And then stillness. Alright, Fazl. Unlike her, you're still in this. What's up, Master of the Hunt?
That's everything.
Alright, on your turn, Cha-Cha runs up behind Li Wei, runs over his back, hops off, and jumps onto the ledge between. And and she's hopping around on the wall around the storage area.
Perfect.
What a queen.
The living thug gets in here, realizes what's up, and says, "Alleyway, you two with me. You three. You two out there into the alley." This guy says, "I see him. He's on the roof." And he fires his light crossbow at Basil. The shot goes so hilariously wide, the only reason you even hear it is because it thuds into the wall below you. Waterly, thank you, Dionysus. Meanwhile, this dude, he's gonna dash in. He's not gonna dash, actually. This bandit is also gonna whip out a ranged weapon, but he goes for the short bow, and he plucks a shot up at you. As an arrow takes you in the side for 4 damage. This guy stands up. 5, 10, 15, 20. No, he can only get 15. He dashes. He's by the stairs. He can't get up. You hear tugging, Leeway. People are trying to pull down the stairs.
Alright.
And this thug himself comes up here and says, "What are we fucking waiting for?" And you hear, as wood breaks.
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
A crossbow bolt has just been shot through the latch from below. The mechanism is kind of ruined, but it begins to half hitch and sag. And he says, "Rip it down!"
Alright.
Leeway, what you gonna do?
Okay. So I'll start with trying to mask my fear a little bit and say, "Hey, come and get us." And then I would like to cast, because I feel like we've made our mortal enemies here. They saw Leeway and Cha-Cha down there with one of their buddies. I'd like to make kind of like the sounds of Leeway and Cha-Cha with a little minor illusion. I'd like to make that sound like in this area right here.
Like you're going for the windows. Yes.
Right. Now, essentially, I'm gonna try to focus on that as I try to follow Cha-Cha's lead and jump out the window to try to get onto the. Did you say this is a wall, right?
Yeah. So this is like a wall, maybe a foot wide. So like careful footing, right? Gymnast footing.
Right.
But it's a wall around an outdoor storage area. So you can get the running jump, but can you stick the landing? Give me an acrobatics.
We're gonna try.
Yeah, Matrix jump, Dionysus. Ooh, you still have your bardic inspiration. You haven't used it.
That's true.
You run out. Your foot hits the edge, and you feel you hydroplane. You slide, and you are about to roll your ankle and eat shit into the dirt.
Okay.
Okay.
+3. That's still so low.
10.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, 10. Okay, here's what happens, Leeway. You're prone on the ledge. You may stay up, but you slam your chest into it, and it's a hard enough impact that it doesn't damage you, but it just rock you. You've had to spend a good deal of your movement to get over there. Mm-hmm. You're prone. Here's the thing: to stand up from prone, you have to make another acrobatics check. Do you want to?
Yes, absolutely. If I can,
Give it to me.
We're trying. We got to get out of here. Oh no!
All right, Leeway. I'm so sorry. You get up. Look, you stumble forward. And you fall. You fall 10 fucking feet.
All right.
You fall over again. You thud right into the dirt. And you suffer 2 bludgeoning damage as Cha-Cha looks down at you like, squawk, squawk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's Leeway's great escape moment.
Look, I'm either crit succeeding or failing miserably.
We've got heaven or hell here for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
can I see Fazil from where I am?
Yeah, you can see him. He's up on. He's like right at the corner of this roof, so you can.
Okay.
You're down in. Yeah, you can kind of see him. You can kind of see like his head.
Okay. In that case, I'd like to do just a sharp note on my flute, just so Fazil knows where I am, and throw up like a thumbs up of like I'm okay, and I'll send a bardic inspiration over to him just in case.
You feel inspired, Fazil, by these comings and goings of events. Some guys in there try to rip through. They eventually succeed, but it's not great. Fazil, it's your turn. You've got 2 foes below taking shots from the alley. You've got people ripping through that building. They're probably going to realize where y'all are. And they still think that you guys are upstairs. What do you want to do? Reminder, the north side of this map is the escape zone.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, I feel silly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I asked the gentleman for a fog cloud to roll. Forgetting them, that's what I learned at level 3.
Oh, okay.
Snap.
Okay. Are they about to have are they about to find themselves in Foggy Bottom? A quick trip to DC?
Yeah, so I like to think the bardic inspiration, the short doot, was actually a series of short doots. Darude Sandstorm.
Oh god.
And so I'm gonna fog cloud these guys. It's gonna come out of Fazil's mouth. It's gonna.
Hell yeah.
Because I imagine you see, since full feral, I'm being ambushed mode. So he's
blood
like
all over the sickles, like
Yeah.
pasted in it, a little
Arched
cha-cha
back,
feather on you,
hmm
and then the jar of the goblin opens and a fog cloud descends. Darude Fogstorm plays, and yeah, what's the saving on that? Can we get in chat?
I don't think it's a saving throw. I think it's just obscured vision for
All
20
right.
feet. 20 feet sphere. It's gonna be
Nice.
popped right here, and it's gonna be popped in like at window at the first ground floor, at the first floor level.
All right, so
Somewhere in
fog-
between. So
fog
it's like
fills
yeah.
the alley.
yeah, perfect.
Sick.
I am going to tell Cha-Cha to rescue, and I'd like Cha-Cha to drag our leeway friend.
Cha-Cha hops down, and Cha-Cha hops down. You're both now at 0 feet, and Cha-Cha's at like 5 feet, kind of, but you know. Cha-Cha drags you.
Ooh, my bad.
Cha-Cha managed to drag Leeway to his feet, so he doesn't have to spend his own movement standing up.
Oh, nice.
And then Cha-Cha
Thank you,
kind of like,
Cha-Cha.
you know, pops back and does her own version of animal handling that's people handling, trying to encourage you to run better. And,
Manhandling.
All right. I'll
She's
try.
not great at manhandling, but you get the
Yeah.
the spirit
Yeah.
of the thing is there, Leeway. So there are some barrels for some run-ups to get out, and there are a lot of people
Yeah.
coming. So
Great.
I think that's
Great.
the end of Fazil's turn. Yeah.
Easy.
Okay.
I think getting over. Do I have to athletics check to get over this gap?
No. You have a running. As long as you take a 10-foot running jump.
Cool.
So yeah, you can leave. He gets upstairs. Says they're not here. He looks out and he says the storage out back. Catch him. And several of the guys in the fog cloud are like, what's happening? And they're kind of like bumbling around blindly. And the last student here gets up, and he's also at the 10-foot position with his boss. And he says, I have a line. And out this window comes flying a crossbow bolt towards
Oh
Fazil.
my gosh.
Flying high, a whiz over your head.
Oof.
All right, Leeway. You hear people
Gotta
bumping around
get
the
me one of
alley.
those.
The only reason they're not in here, like, killing you right now is because of that fog cloud confusing them on where the fuck they're going.
Okay.
And you're here. Cha-Cha's there for emotional support. Like,
Yeah. All right. I'm going. Let's go. I'm trying to jet out of there as quickly as I can. Holy crap.
All right, so give me an acrobatics.
All right. Let's see. That's an 11.
Okay. You okay. Here's what's happening. You're like, fuck, I can't do this, I can't do it. And a little raptor grabs you and yoinks you. And Cha-Cha is using the help action. Give me that second roll because this is with advantage.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Oh, that's worse.
Cha-Cha had... Okay, so let's think about...
Oh my god.
So, okay, you have like a ladder, kind of. And 10 is good enough to use a ladder in place. So
yeah.
You're up at 10 feet again. Climbing is normally half speed, right? So you can just do it, but it takes a while. You're here.
Right.
You see that the building that your compatriot is over here. You could acrobatics or athletics to just try and make a hop. Yeah, up at 10 feet gaming.
Yeah.
So do you wanna try and make the hop? Do you wanna try and shimmy your way onto the stand? Do you wanna just hop 10 feet, take the fucking damage, or try and tumble and ignore it and get onto the street?
I'm gonna try to get onto that other wall. Let's give this a shot.
So on the other roof?
Yeah.
All right, athletics or acrobatics at your preference. I don't know if you want to take up a new horse here.
All right, let's try. We're trying it.
All right,
12.
You go for it. You run. You jump. You feel as if though the emerald is rising. You run up. You stud. You jump, and you clatter to the wall, holding it roughly at 15 feet up. Fazl, you see Li Wei clutching the wall below you. And you didn't have to get up yourself. You moved 15 feet, jumped. Yeah, you have like just not enough action movement to get up unless you dash. Do you want to dash, Li Wei?
Yeah, I'd like to dash.
Pull yourself up at 20 feet, and from here you have 25 feet of movement left. And remember, you can make a running jump as long as you have 10 feet, and that'll take you your strength. So you could pop.
Oh my gosh, this is giving me like flashbacks to training with, training with Ike, and it's like every time Li Wei wanted to just stop, wanted to just chill, wanted to just take a breather and have a drink, every time Ike would just push him further, to the point where he most of the time throw up from the level of exhaustion. And I'd like to think he's a little bit stronger for it now. And he looks at Fazl and says, we gotta go. And you just see the exhaustion in his face, the bruises from falling over repeatedly. Just the look of being demoralized, but knowing that he's got to keep going, and he's gonna try to run.
No second chances on the battlefield. Kind of like echoes in the back of your mind.
Yeah, battlefield. Right. Let's go.
Yeah. So you make your run for it. You make your leap, and you make it across. The thugs are caught in the mist. Cha-Cha catches up to you. Fazl, and hops
Cha-Cha, to me!
And you mount up and you ride, and the three of you escape to the north as you pull out of this combat. Yeah?
I'm gonna fling a parting boomerang shot.
Oh hell yeah!
All right, yeah. Who do you wanna hit? Just whoever is
anyone who's visible.
All right, so the thug is like climbing up onto the roof of this building out the window, and he's like directing people, and he's trying to get his crossbow ready, and you just whip out your fucking boomerang. Give me that attack with advantage as the winds
Chucks me
fade.
fucking boomerang. What do I don't think I have an item for it. Oops.
I thought you did.
Did I do?
I am dumb. You don't.
It's okay.
Just make honestly, Shinobi Gamma is dex based anyway. Attack with that with advantage real quick.
All right.
It's also a D4, so that actually works perfect.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, there we go. Oh.
Give me the damage.
Ooh.
As
Yes.
it arcs, and the wind catches it, and it flies down to pile drive down to the side of his head, smack him.
I'm gonna add
Oh.
the Bardic Inspiration to that one.
Or-
It's a D6, right?
yeah.
Oh well.
It tings him in the ear. He's got nice. It's ringing. So yeah, you guys give a parting blast on the way out, and you are free.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
Hey, wow, that's pretty good.
Basil. Oh my goodness. Thanks. Holy crap.
No, thank you. You were great. There's a lot of fast movement,
Yeah.
light on our
You-
feet.
Hey, you. I saw what you did up there. That was sick. Goodness. Oh. She shot me.
Yeah, that was really rude of her. They got crossbows, and I gotta say, damn, those things look like fun.
Hey, you know what? And Li Wei is gonna hand over the hand crossbow, the miraculous murder hand crossbow, and say, "I think you'll do better with this one." To be honest,
Are you sure?
yeah, I tried it. You know, I don't think I locked the bolt in properly. It just fell like 2 feet away from me. I think you'll do it justice more than I can.
Yeah, like stars light up in Fazl's eyes. Like,
Oh.
All right, you guys are riding. You arrive swiftly in the underbridge of Canal Street. And you know what else you swiftly arrive at? Our 1 5-minute break of the night. I'm so sorry. I gotta make the sprint. But please I'm keeping this audio alive. But chat, thank you for coming out, everyone. I just gotta woof. I'll be right back.
All right.
oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, holy crap, Basil. Goodness.
Like the one time it decides to start rolling. Well, you know, I think it's because there's a lot of like D4 rolls. I didn't realize how much damage this thing could actually do.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, you were ripping them apart. Holy crap. Goodness.
Went from camp counselor to camp horror.
Right? Oh, it was so sick after the Zephyr going up to the roof. That was ridiculous.
But yeah,
Goodness.
the mental image of just the on all fours swivel around and crawl is never gonna leave my brain.
Yeah. Oh, that was amazing. Holy crap. Goodness.
I was looking at the numbers in the space. I was like, no, there's a math way to do it. I can do this somehow.
Yeah. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would have died. If Fazal wasn't there, I was gonna die. Holy crap.
Fazal would have eventually gotten overrun. I think because, like, at least when I think about Fazal and his perception, his philosophy on getting ambushed
Mm-hmm.
is simply kill everyone until you're no longer ambushed.
Oh,
And that's how you
snap.
don't survive an ambush.
Right.
That's how you die in an ambush. So I think we both balanced each other out in
Mhm.
needing to come out of this alive.
Right. Oh man. That was so sick though. Holy crap. And Cha-Cha. Oh my gosh.
Cha-Cha. I can't believe I forgot Cha-Cha in the building.
I
Cha-Cha
got
would have
scared.
died if he weren't here. I was actually like, that would have been tragic.
Yeah. Oh man. Whew. We saved Cha-Cha. We got
And
Cha-Cha.
Cha-Cha saved us back.
Yes, exactly.
It really was.
Oh my gosh. The teamwork, baby.
He wasn't playing. He said buddy cop.
Right? Goodness. I'll admit, I felt like, okay, so when I think buddy cop, I immediately think Rush Hour. I feel like I was like the Chris Tucker role of like, oh no, I'm getting my ass kicked. Thank goodness you're here.
And then it automatically pulls out some crazy fighting moves.
Right? Oh man.
Yeah, Fazzle really does have two modes. Relax and then entrails.
Oh yeah. I love it. Holy crap. Hey, he's living up to the reputation. I mean, last time it was like it was the how many people have you killed?
Well, see, these were the first people I've actually killed. Wait. No, yeah, I think these are the actual first people I've ever killed in this game.
Oh, whoa.
I mean, I've killed monsters and ghosts, but that first time, y'all dealt the killing blows.
Ah.
So I think this is actually the first time Fazzle's actually murdered anyone.
Dang.
Like a person.
Okay. I dig it. Oh my gosh. Goodness. How does Fazzle feel about that?
That's how
Is
he
it
looks at it.
safe?
It's like,
Oh, this is the first time I've actually killed anyone all year. No. I've been doing pretty good.
Yeah. Reforming. Oh my gosh. Goodness.
Fazzle is very much a circle of life, kind of like. Are you familiar with Magic the Gathering?
Yes, absolutely.
He's definitely, if he lived in Ravnica, he'd be Clan Golgari.
Oh, I dig it.
And Death is just like, well, I guess his part in killing things is just matter of fact to him. It's like,
If things don't decompose, then fertilizer doesn't come, and then everyone's real mad at us then.
Yeah. You know, that's so fitting because, like, just looking at like the BRB with the green and the dark background.
yeah.
Fazzle's perfection for this.
Also, like, I kind of, I just feel like the Swarm Keeper Ranger was definitely a subclass that they made with Golgari. At least someone out there in Wizards of the Coast who was like designing that, like, had Golgari in mind in some senses. That's just, it's so fitting. There's just so many different ways it can go, and I always it's one of the classes I've always wanted to play, and I almost never get a chance to play at all. So when I do, I'm like, I love this class.
Oh yeah, goodness. Oh man.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
And it's funny. I hate bugs in real life.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a proxy therapy for.
Yeah. Leaning into it.
Yeah.
All right, dreamers, are we good to go?
Yeah.
A stretch the Lee from Mouse Parker.
Actually, can I get 2 more minutes?
Sure.
1 second.
We'll. I don't even know how we would display the fact that I'm stretching at this time, but maybe with this. Hello, I'm a Lee. I'm stretching.
If you could get a good back pop, I think that's pretty good proof.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty good. And I water the Lee. I'm stretched and watered.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out, yeah.
We were talking about how it was like the perfect buddy cop thing, because I was thinking of like Rush Hour, and oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm pulling the Chris Tucker right now and getting my ass beat.
Oh, not there. Water's great. I love water.
Yes.
It is great. Poured some up. Thank you, Dionysus.
Absolutely. Thank you.
The
Dionysus.
leap of faith, Jim. Dionysus, yes.
Oh, did someone water the Lee as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it was fate. I watered the Greg.
Yes.
Excellent. So, It is 11 a.m. on April 16th. And
Okay.
the three of you are coming in, and basically immediately, your people see you, you're rushing in, you're not in a good way. Like, the crime orphans are around, and Bois comes up to you and says, Li Wei, what's wrong? You look like shit.
Hey, work. It's a long story. Is my family okay?
Yeah. Your folks are doing fine. They're at work. You got them those cushy jobs in the harbor district, with
Yeah.
with that
Yeah.
business you do. Yeah.
Right.
And it's he says, hey, I don't know what's wrong, but hey, step between these buildings with me. And he steps between these buildings.
All right.
And I'm gonna take you two join him, and and in the round,
I trust him.
Yeah,
completely.
yeah,
I'll keep lookout.
yeah. You keep a lookout, and Li Wei comes to the alley. He's like, all right. So you know how Aiko, she does business with other people than we do.
Yeah.
I think she's onto something. She said to let you know she wanted to talk soon. She didn't seem anxious about it or anything, but she said that just yesterday. I didn't get around to telling you until the day you hadn't been around.
Okay. Huh.
Look, what's happening? Who's after you?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just afraid. I've been getting some tips. From, and I'll kind of gesture back to Basil, and from my contacts, getting supplies. I just want to make sure everyone's okay here. Do you know where Aiko is right now?
Yeah, she moved into that big house, one over, and he gesticulates, and literally the house that Yannick killed his first person in the courtyard of. The people who lived there decided it was time to move after that.
That's fair.
But Aiko, she's been moving up. She's been out a little more coins since the day you stole those dwarven pennies from her. Those dwarven coins you found in her house.
Yeah.
And she now lives here in this fairly nice house. That's who you're being advised to go visit. Because Bra says, well, whoever they are, we'll hold them off. Everybody's in the street. There's lots of witnesses and people have things to hand. If anything goes south, you can count on me.
Great.
I'll look out for you like old times. I'll watch the door.
Yeah, like old times. I'll put just a hand on his shoulder, squeeze a little bit before I start heading towards Aiko's place.
Yeah, so you head to Aiko's place, and so Basil, Bois comes, he walks with you guys, takes you to the courtyard, and you guys smell something's cooking in the kitchen. And,
some smells good.
Yeah, the front door is open, and the screens have been adjusted such that you can see in through them, and you see Aiko sitting by the Aurori, sitting by her hearth in her nice new house.
Okay. Does she seem like chillin', or does she seem?
Give me an insight. She's hard to read.
Okay. It's fine. Everything's good.
I mean,
It's a busted. Aiko!
She turns and she says, Li Wei! Oh, it looks like someone's jumped you. What's wrong? What's happening? And
you're
right. Do you ride Cha-Cha in, Greg, or is Lee?
I do not.
All right, so you dismount and do you
Cha-Cha, be good.
And she says, "Oh, you're here with the master of the hunt." And she kind of looks. she's not so sure about that, but she invites you in. And
So,
yeah.
I heard that you were looking for me.
Yeah. So why don't you come sit? It's been a while since we had a conversation. And
All right.
she points and says, "Is he cool?" To Fazl.
Yeah. Yeah. This, and I'll just kind of gesture to all my wounds and like the burned holes in my clothes and say, this would be a lot worse if not for him. So he's definitely cool.
Do you come join her by the Aurora, Fazl?
I do.
She says, "You might want to close the screen behind us. We have to have a conversation." So she bids you to sit. She has some what are to you now like humble cushions and mats, but this is as good as it gets in Canal Street. She says, "So, Li Wei, you've been reckless,
Yeah.
but thankfully, and she points to Fazl and she says, the castle's closing in on this operation. There are currents underground. Wind fills my sails from new directions." She smiles and says, "You were always finding ways to get into trouble. I had to be the mature one on the street. Of course, then you wandered into success. And you've been very generous with our community. So I don't want anything bad to happen to you, Li Wei.
Yeah.
I want you to meet a friend." But she looks to Fazl. No one else at the castle hears about this.
I don't know about this one.
She says, "Li Wei doesn't want to be out in front of this. I'm sure you already know the court peacock is about to blow something open. And when he does, they're going to find a lot of paperwork with Li Wei's name and seal all over it.
All right.
I'm giving you an opportunity. But she looks at you, Li Wei, and says, I thought he was cool."
He's cool. He's cool.
And she looks back at Fazl and she says, "So no one has to hear about this?"
I suppose not.
She says, she kind of like dings a chime, and there's a heavy set of feet. And then, there is a sliding, and you see a dwarf, an older man. She says, "Ashbeard, come, sit with us." He does. He closes this by, gets in the corner, gruffly goes, "Oh, well, looks like we have ourselves some friends from the castle." Are you open up that screen?
Oh no, I didn't mean to.
Okay.
I thought I had to make room for him.
It's okay. So he comes from the corner and he says, "So, your friends come down from the castle finally. Yeah. You're Li Wei, then, I take it? Chun Li Wei?
Yeah.
The Ritter. Interesting. I've seen your signature on a few pieces of paper." And he pulls out a piece of paper, and he slaps it down in front of you, and he lets it unroll. And it has your signature on it, and has your seal on it. But you don't quite remember the text. This is authorizing the unsearched transit of heavy goods at the port as an affidavit of character, which means that you vouchsafe, "There's no need to check these boxes. I'm good for it. I'm a well-ranked knight. No need to do that." And he says, "You've come up against a little bit of a pickle here.
Okay.
Do you know who the Old Town Associates are?" Li Wei, give me a history roll with advantage. You might.
Okay, let's go.
Hometown Associates. Does that sound familiar?
I think you mentioned earlier Fazil doesn't really know crime. You could roll history at disadvantage.
18.
The Old Town Associates are criminals with the backing of unscrupulous urban ritters. They rarely to never make the move themselves, certainly not in broad daylight. But if what he's implying is true, a ritter gave that order that had you jumped. And he says, Your companions are moving in on the Old Town Associates. There's been too much movement of arms, too much movement of control of power. More money is coming into Old Town. More money since that alchemical factory, that alchemical distillery got moved into the warehouse district. You know, Li Wei, while you were off training, that got approved in part because Yannick strongly endorsed it. And he says, that money changed this town. Things are evolving faster. People are going to get in trouble for this. But you don't have to. All of the papers have been moved to one warehouse. You don't have to worry about why. There's going to be a raid. But if the room with the paper catches on fire first, everything even remotely incriminating tying back to you will be destroyed.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Where is this room exactly?
It's out on the long pier. And you know the long pier is one of the warehouse, it's like a jut that like girds the natural harbor of the eastern side of the deep water port, or on the southern shallow water port. Tip of the long pier.
Is there any way we could do this other than fire? I mean, it's an alchemical lab, and
he says
it's the docks.
The alchemical lab is a couple blocks away. It'll be
still
fun.
It what if it's not? I mean, they've got all kinds of stuff in there, and it was really hard to even get that place within anywhere near the city in the first place.
Listen, it's far out on the docks. There's lots of workers who are going to be there. They're going to douse the flames. It's a stone-based building anyway.
Look, what if we were able to make the evidence disappear without fire?
He says, that's a good question, but now you need to think about this. You both live at the castle, and you're a member of the court. People notice your comings and goings. And they know you're friends with Li Wei. If the evidence disappears in a way that doesn't look authentically like an accident, you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
But you're right. Maybe a fire's too severe. We could do something. It's going to be trickier, but we could do something. Make it look like something happened in there, and the papers were destroyed. Doesn't have to be fire. It can be acid.
Ink? Acid? Lots of things could work.
So, here's the only condition. I represent the court of stone. We can do this for you, Li Wei. But you're going to owe us a favor. And you don't owe the court of stone a favor lightly. Normally, we would be charging you for this, but our associate, he looks at Aiko, tells us you're an important member of the community. And the court of stone is all about community. So, we'll be interested in extending you this favor for free, but you will owe us a favor. And Aiko looks between the three of you, and she says, "So, you make sure that there's an accident, there's no fire, and everything incriminating about Li Wei gets washed away." And he nods, and he says, "Yes. And anything left outside is either a legitimate document or a poor enough forgery you'll be able to disavow it. Every incriminating document is in that warehouse. Everyone." And Aiko looks and she says, "So, Li Wei, we're offering you a second lease on this life you've wandered your way into. I don't think I need to spell out for you how people at the court would feel if they found these documents. What you've been doing with that Ritter hood Sigrun gave you himself."
Yeah. Yeah. I got it. So.
And she says, there's one more detail. And Ashbeard nods and says, "There's one more thing. You'll have to be exceedingly careful surrounding your affairs with the Fifth Watch. I think they're going to lie low. They're more discreet than the others, but they're not part of the Old Town Associates. So they shouldn't be hit by the Purge if I destroy any documents relating to them, which I'll do. But you have to agree to this favor before 2 witnesses. The Court of Stone will know."
All right.
And he reaches out. He reaches out a stone tablet and a chisel. And he says, and it has on it writing you don't understand unless you read Dwarvish. And he says, "Make your mark here, if you will accept the terms."
Okay. So, as far as my knowledge of this group, the Court of Stone, when it comes to the lengths they're willing to go to for their causes,
extraordinary. So,
all right.
You rolled a really good history earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, 18.
Okay. So, the Court of Stone descend from an ancient Dwarvish High King who fell into disgrace and whose men chose loyalty over honor and accompanied him into exile. The Court of Stone is run as a shadow government of the Dwarvish Vok that is to your west. This mountain range that this Dwarvish Vok runs under is basically the length of the continent. They are extremely large, extremely well funded, and the Court of Stone's word is as good as stone, which is what he says when he looks at you and says, "Our word, good as stone." And he is, I mean, you know that when they decide someone's gonna die, like if someone doesn't pay them their money, they die. It doesn't matter if they're a prince, they die.
Right.
So he's gonna do this for you. But you're gonna owe that favor. And right now, it's a blank check.
Right. Okay. I'd like to ask him, is it okay if I speak with, and I'll gesture towards Aiko for a moment, privately?
And, he says, "Certainly. But, that raid is scheduled for a few days from now, and we need to get things taken care of before they're arriving. So," and he stands up, he walks out the door and says, "I'll leave you to consider." And he leaves you with the stone tablet as he goes upstairs again.
Okay.
And Aiko looks at Fazil and says, "And he'll be with us too?"
Yeah. That's fine.
That's
Aiko,
all right with you?
Sure. So, Li Wei, what's
are
it going to
you
be?
okay, Aiko?
I'm better than I've ever been.
If I don't do this, will you be okay?
He shrugs and says, "I'll be fine. I just saw an opportunity. I've been doing good work with my associates, foreign and domestic.
Okay.
So, I heard that little Li Wei was in trouble again, and I knew one group of people who could make it go away.
Yeah.
If you don't take this, you fend for yourself. We'll see what happens."
Speaking of fending for ourselves,
Yes, Fazil.
what do you think we can do this ourselves?
That's what I'm thinking. I was afraid that, and just kind of like looking over towards Aiko, I was afraid that they might have something on us, something on you. But if it's just a deal, I don't want to owe anyone more than we can say out front, more than we can outline right here. If it's this blank check, I don't like that. It's not the freedom I want. So if you're with me, Fazil, I heard the concern in your voice when they were talking about the fire, the potential for other people getting caught in it. Do you think there's a way we could get rid of it without endangering anyone?
I don't know about not endangering anyone.
But at least minimizing.
Yeah, I think so. Do you think your friend from the scroll shop, could they amend that order? I just realized I already know Fog Cloud.
Yeah, I'm sure. Definitely. If there's another, I'm sure they could give you an equivalent exchange of something. Some other spell, if you'd rather.
Indeed.
And, I mean, if not, at the very least, I don't know, we could find a slime. Stick it in the room.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Aiko says, "All right." So, and as this is happening, you hear a and she says, "Who is that?" And Bois comes in and he slides open the door and he says, he's panting. He says, "There's been a fight. A big fight. Oh wow. There's blood. We killed them, but someone's hurt. Someone's really hurt."
All right.
A fight?
When Bois reports this sort of thing, I know it's serious, so I'm gonna go follow immediately.
Yeah, so you follow Bois out, and you find that one of the dudes on the one of the violence urchins, slightly older than they were then, has grown up a bit, is not doing so good. They're at the old 0 HP, and they are not in a good way. And you see there's signs of violence down the street, and they've been run off, and you see people dragging away the bodies and looting the bodies of several of your pursuers from earlier who are now dead or routed. And someone says, "They had such good weapons. Where did they get those weapons?" And they seem almost shell-shocked. And yeah, Aiko looks over at you and looks at the wounded person and says, "Well, Li Wei," and we don't have any medici.
At this point, with the damage that's been dealt, is it too late to do a regular cure wounds?
You could, yeah, use cure wounds. Do you do so openly in the street?
Yeah.
All right. So everyone watches as Li Wei intones the word, the divine word, and you wield back these wounds into healed flesh. You cleanse the breaking of the blood, and he looks at you, and I'm assuming you heal more than 4 health with that. He's like as good,
Yes.
he's like right as rain, and he looks, he's like, "It's a miracle, Li Wei." And everyone starts to say, "Li Wei, the miracle worker, Li Wei, he's done so much." And like people are starting to be worked up into a frenzy as people witness what you've just done.
I think you got to make a speech now or something.
Like, I'll like try to call everyone that's spoken and has witnessed over.
Yeah,
and say, "Hey, look, please don't say anything about this. I know this isn't what I did. It's not in line with this town, the city, the religious inclinations here. So please, I want to help. I want to help continue contributing to the community.
And
So please,
and someone says, "He was still alive. I saw him. You're good. You're good."
Yeah. It was just shock or something, right?
Of course. And he's gonna pass himself. He's like, "Yeah. I remember everything. I'm fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Ooh, it's fine."
Okay.
So you've healed him, and you've said what you've said. You've done what you've done, and people seem inclined to go along with what you're saying. But roll me a persuasion just in case.
All
Because
right.
You never know one witness might flap their
Look.
gums.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I mean,
19.
it doesn't look like anybody. It looks like everybody's on board. So,
All right.
Li Wei, you've survived an assassination attempt, and the people, are very grateful, and they rush away with the wounded and everything. You're left with your companions of, Aiko is there, Bois is there, Fazil is there, Cha-Cha steps out and is there going, and you're left with a choice, which is, are you going to try and solve this entirely on your own before the Spy Master gets there? Are you going to do something other than that? Or are you going to take the deal offered by the Court of Stone?
As I return back inside, I'll call down the dwarf
Yeah.
from the
Ash-
Court of Stone.
Ashbeard descends and he says, "So, did you made up your mind?"
Yeah, I appreciate the offer, but I think I can handle this one. And I'll slide that tablet back over to him.
So it is. Hopefully you don't live to regret this. But with that, you have no business. He nods to Aiko and he goes back upstairs. And Aiko walks right up to you and says, "Little Li Wei, do you have any idea what you're going to do? Or are you just hoping this is all going to fall in your lap again?"
Well, hope's gotten me this far.
She sighs, and she kind of face palms a little and says, "Well, hopefully can get you a little further. And she whips out a red and white swirling potion that has a vague peppermint scent. And she palms it to you, and she clasps your hand shut, and she says, "Don't get yourself killed."
Yeah, I'll do my best. If I do, then I'll know I'll let you down.
She rolls her eyes and says, "All right. Don't say I didn't tell you so when they're kicking you out of the castle, or worse."
Yeah, I got it.
So, Li Wei, you are at a juncture point as you and Fazl roll out of Old Town. And you, you find yourselves back at your room in the castle.
Mm-hmm.
And on your way back, you have to cut through the council chamber again, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And on the way, you see, stood there, Begrim, meeting with the spy master, with the master of letters, and he turns, sees you, his expression brightens. Brighter than you've ever seen it. Says, "Li Wei!" He walks over, and he's come closer to you now than he has since the day 2 years ago when he, backwashed you into Ritterhood alongside his son. And he reaches out to embrace you, hands open, and he hugs you, and he clasps you on the back. He says, "My boy, I've thought of you for long as the third son to Yannick, and seen how he's watched over you, and how you developed. Eichen von Ortel tells me of your skill with the rapier.
Yeah.
And you've been training tirelessly. You'll have to show me that." He nods, and he says, "And I hear you sleep through most of your religion lessons."
It's so early. What, 10, 11? I don't remember.
He scoffs. He says, "Oh, you scoundrel. Well, tell me." And he looks at you, and he says, "You've lived here now for almost 2 years. Would you say we're family?"
Yeah, I'd like to say so.
He nods, and he looks at you, and he looks like he's thinking about something as he says, "Good. You look after Yannick now, don't you?" And he gives a appreciative nod, and he turns to Sfez, and he says, "And as for that matter we spoke about," and he says, "Yes, my lord," and he says, "I want it dealt with tomorrow night." Kicking up the schedule? Aren't we waiting for the new moon? No time to wait for anything. He stands still, he puts his hand stiff on Li Wei's shoulder, points right to him, and says, "Life's short. You don't know what's going to happen, who you're going to love or who you're going to lose. What I know is what I have here. What I have here won't be tainted by anyone who supposedly has the honor of a Ritter running around committing crime in Old Town. Take care of them. I'm sorry you have to hear about this Li Wei Fazl. It's something I was handling with Sfez." And Sfez says, "Of course, my liege. Tomorrow night it is. I'll send the appropriate letters." And he whoops over.
No,
and
think nothing of it, my liege.
And Sigrun says, "Tell me, Li Wei, you're not doing anything tomorrow, are you? Why don't we go on a hunt? Bring Yannick and Fazl."
On a hunt tonight?
Oh, yeah, well, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow's no good for us.
Oh,
right.
Why ever not, Master of the Hunt? I do pay you to hunt.
Well, you see...
Yes?
I mean, my clothes. Look, this isn't befitting of a Ritter. So
And he looks down at you, actually, and he says, "What's happened? There's burns on your clothing. It's blood. Dried. What happened?"
I went out,
Yes?
visiting the old home and everything, and we got attacked.
Attacked? In my city? Who? I shall have them all hung.
Well, we're actually trying to figure that out now.
Right.
As we
Well-
speak, Your Highness.
Perhaps
And,
I should call back Svez from his tower, and we can go over all of the evidence and who might be
No,
behind it. And
No.
No,
We
no.
must keep the utmost discretion and
Right.
as few people involved.
even from Svez.
It's not that yes, even from Svez, it's not that I do not trust or do not believe in his abilities.
But say no more. I understand. You're a man of action. Sometimes
Yeah.
these things need to be handled.
Life is too short
He looks at you.
Yeah.
for anyone else to investigate.
Exactly.
He says-
Exactly.
Well,
That's
Li
why
Wei-
we can't go with you tomorrow.
He says, I understand. Li Wei, I had thought to protect you, but now I realize you are truly a man worthy to be called my family, and you will handle your own affairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
May Sunde wash over you, and may the blessings of the light and the holy cantos ring ever in your ears, and victory be yours. You are a Ritter
Exactly.
true, and know that at the moment of your cry, he would cry as a good and honorable Ritter. All of the defenders of this city will descend upon your foes. And he claps you on the shoulder, and he gives Fazil a thumbs up, and Sigrid heads off to the throne room.
Hey. Ooh, that was
Oh my god.
that was probably the most stressful part of the day, to be honest.
Yeah. And I got hit by acid. Oh. All right.
Yeah.
So at least we know when, even though it's earlier than we thought. We'd
Much
hope.
earlier.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, so by now it's noon on April 16th. Tomorrow night, the raid happens, and you guys make your way back to Li Wei's room because thick stone walls have a way of granting comfort and guise to one's illicit activities. So, you're here, and you know that at the tip of the Eastern Warehouse District, and you do have to pass through the old town walls to get there. There is a warehouse that contains all of the incriminating paperwork against Li Wei. For some reason, it's all been arranged to be there. And, yeah, you know that the raid is tomorrow night. Tell me, gentlemen, Basil and Li Wei, alone in Li Wei's room, what transpires here? What words
Well-
pass by?
Can your friend get a hold of an insect swarm scroll?
I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
Do you go yourself, or do you send a trusted do you send a courier to deliver that message?
Oh. For
There
something
is
like
there is one courier who works at the castle. His name is
We
Rob.
We go ourselves. We can't
Just to go to the defense, I thought Rob is one of the Canal Street boys who you got the job of castle courier. So if he's loyal to anyone, he's loyal to
Oh.
Li Wei. But you could go yourselves just to be sure.
Yeah, I mean with people like looking out for us at this point, I think it'd be better for us to go. I will say this. Fazil, if you think that it might be suspicious for you to be coming with me out here, I might be able to make you unseen when we head out. What I did back home, that's not all I can do. I can make you as well to the undiscerning eye. It's as though you're not even there.
Is it only resurrecting people that's illegal? Or
Yeah, so healing magic,
okay.
healing magic is fine if they're not dead.
oh,
If
okay,
you
yeah, I was pretty
resurrect
sure.
resurrecting the dead. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, that's illegal. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So, onward, and when we begin to head out, I'll cast invisibility onto Fazil so that if anything goes down, if anyone's watching, for all intents and purposes, it's just Li Wei heading out there.
All right. So you leave again without any guards or anything. And do you take your horse?
I'll take my horse.
All right. You mount up. You ride. You ride through those streets, and you drop by the Scrollmeister and you update your order. Are you going to do anything else while you're out?
I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe
we scope the place out, case the joint.
Yeah, that's a good idea. As far as the travel time, like going to get the scroll, going to the docks, like how much time does that take?
About an hour to the scroll guy, but the
Okay.
docks is on the
Oh,
way,
damn.
so it's only actually, it was in the neighborhood. It's like 30-20 minutes, and then it's a further 30-20 minutes to get so it'll be 1 hour to get all the way out there.
Okay. Because invisibility will last for an hour.
So you'll be
So
out
then-
there. You'll have like depending on how fast you walk, 5 to 10 minutes of invisible Fazil while you're at the place.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's scope it out. Let's see what we're dealing with here.
All right. So, you scope out the joint. So anyway, the joint, right? You find yourselves near the crashing waves of the shore. You see the strong stone pillars hugging the harbor. And,
Zico, please get off of that. Sorry, my bad.
it's all good. And yeah, you see there is a significant structure. It's a large warehouse, and it has, it's as tall as like 4 stories, but knowing these warehouses, it probably doesn't have like proper internal space to that effect. There's probably 1 or 2 internal office buildings, possibly raised up off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So, Basil, give me, or both of you, give me perception.
You got it, Chief.
I got an 8. Ooh.
Not Li Wei's roll night sometimes.
Right.
And Basil. Oh,
Oh, nice.
Basil. You follow the bird shit. You see some lower line, more heavy ones, and you realize there's an overhanging extrusion, like bolted onto the side of the warehouse. Like there's extra floor space on the 3rd floor. And you see the windows, and through the reflections in the windows, you can see what look like library racks or like scroll case racks, like there were at the other place, at the Elite Scripts, Edrum's Elite Scripts. So, so you see that there is a clear point of ingress to a room that seems to house scrolls. You two, so Fazil's invisible, but Li Wei, you're not. How stealthy are you being? Are you openly in the warehouse district?
Oh man. Yeah, I'm openly in the warehouse district.
All
I'm
right.
not thinking everything through, but it's definitely one of those situations where it's like I need to be there if anything happens to Fazil.
Yeah, so there are guards around, and one of them definitely kind of like. So there are soldiers who are posted to guard the harbor just in case anything happens.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are also like guys in leather armor who kind of hang out around some of the warehouses. They're private security. One of them definitely makes deep eye contact with you and like slaps the other guard on duty's shoulder, and like the other guy turns to look at you, and they both look at you for a moment. So, what do you want to do?
Just casually smile and
No, now we disappear.
I'll say as you smile at them.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah. Do you guys want to? So you guys peace out.
Yeah.
Okay. I presume night falls.
Mhm.
And yeah, it is a day of days and a time of times.
Mhm.
And it is very late on Gold's Day.
Mhm.
The weekly workers have their money. The docks have sailors who have just pulled in or are going to pee out tomorrow. There's drunks, there's revelry, there's noise, there's light, not in the direction of the warehouses.
Mhm.
Now, some warehouses have more guards at night than they do during the day, just because you don't need to guard as much as the day, but most of them don't afford that, or don't think it's an issue. Warehouse raids aren't super common in Gatoch. But you did see 2 guards who made you earlier, Li Wei.
Yeah.
So, do you guys return to the castle and come back out, or do you melt into the harbor and wait?
So, question.
Yeah.
As far as the order with the scroll goes, was I able to just change it out, or is it a matter of waiting? Like, would we have that scroll?
You changed it out. That scroll is done in the morning, he says.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's all
Alright.
we got for the day, to be honest. Our
Yeah.
best. We probably just want to make sure we're not followed and head back.
Right.
Yeah, but so when night comes, do you ride back out? Because tomorrow night is the raid.
Well, we don't get the scroll till tomorrow.
You
So
don't get-
my plan is this. We'll use Insect Swarm to eat all the pages
Yeah.
in that office.
All right. Fazil. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no, of course. It'll
Night comes and night goes. It is 8 a.m. on Souls Day. Today is a day of reflection. The common folk do not work. The harbor is less occupied than it would be. There is a dispensation of scroll when you guys return post-haste to Edrum's elite scriptory. And yeah, it's 8 a.m. You arrive. You come in, and you meet with I'm sorry, I'm trying to put the right somber backing track.
No.
You meet with Vobar, and Vobar comes out to meet with you, and he looks you over, and he says, "Oh, scroll," and he whips out the case, slides it over, and says, "And the check cashed. The Chamberlain paid for the scroll."
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And he said, although he did insist on a receipt.
Oh yeah, let me get one of those.
Oh no, I gave it to him. By
Oh
letter.
good. Yeah, because I've lost them like a million times. They always tell me to remember to get one. I'm glad he just got
Yep.
taken care of.
So he whips out the scroll case and offers it to you. You take it. It's Insect Swarm.
Oh.
He looks over Li Wei, who by now has changed shirts and stuff, but looks maybe a little rough. And by the way, you both get long rests. And
Oh,
he
great.
says,
Nice.
And he says, remember my guarantee. I tell all my customers. You have had my services, but I am not your servant. And I do business with everyone. I give you exactly what you have asked for, and nothing more. And
how are you with privacy and discretion?
he says, I am not in the business of selling information.
Damn, I love this shop.
I appreciate your custom. And, yeah, so... yeah, you guys, presumably depart. And you find yourself, so here's the question. It's 8 a.m. when you're at the scroll shop. All you know is tonight the raid happens.
Mm-hmm.
When are you going for it?
As soon as possible to give the bugs the most amount of time.
Okay, so literally like 8, you're going to try and speed over there 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. It's 8:30. You arrive. And
So when we get to the dock area, I would like to be underneath like a pier or something like that, or as close as we can get to the building we need, and use fog cloud to like have a fog rolling in from the sea, like a morning fog almost.
So yeah, Greg, describe for me the look of the fog cloud rolling in.
It's low hanging, it's misty, and it sounds like
smoke on the water. People don't think too much of it, although it is a bit strange. Leeway, you find yourself here where in the place where destiny is made. Everything in your life could twist on a knife today. The smoke is coming in. That's your cover. If you fuck this up, that's it.
Yep. All right.
What does Leeway think? What does he do as he gets ready for this raid?
I imagine like he thinks back to when before all of this happened, before he was pulled up onto that horse, before he was pulled up on the metaphorical horse of becoming a ritter, back to sleeping in the barn, back to sleeping on the hard ground, back to trying not to be caught by his parents for not working. And he thinks, never again. Never again. We have to do this. We have to take care of this. And
never again, dude. Parents busted me for smoking weed.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Never again. And so, our intrepid adventurers, Leeway and Basil, approach. You have your angle. You see the slightly opened window. The bird shit marked approach off of the overhanging awning. How do you proceed? There are tall warehouses nearby. You are in an alley between two warehouses. No one should see you as long as there's not someone peering from another pier or anything else untoward.
Right. Okay.
You need a boost?
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. I haven't really got the muscle up down yet.
Yeah, I haven't really got the... I don't know why I asked. I'm sorry. I can't provide this for you.
Just a little... Hey, it's a... You know... It's positivity. Let's go.
I'm tall in my heart.
Yes.
So, yeah, you stand, 30 feet below the window. If you had, say, a grappling hook or anything of the sort, wouldn't go amiss.
I think I've got rope.
Yeah?
I've got, pythons. Could I tie some pythons together? Wait, hold on.
You could tie a python to the tip of the rope and just toss it up, yeah.
There we go.
Now, here's the trick. You know you can make the toss, but can you make the toss without breaking any glass in the window and make it a big fuck-off sound? Give me... Whoever makes the toss makes a sleight of hand.
Oh, toss without breaking a window.
Oh my god.
Eesh.
I'll say, Basil. Based on how effective we've been at hitting our targets or not hitting our targets, I feel like you're much better suited at making this toss than I am.
All right. Let me just psych myself up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I do like the quietest of flute noises to give a little bardic inspiration?
Quiet chant.
Yeah, you gain the bardic inspiration. Give me that toss, Fazel.
Okay, here goes nothing. Huh? Let's go!
The rope
Oh, snap.
slides and skitters around between the metal, and the python swits and catches just right. There is a rope now leading to where you must tread. How do you proceed?
I used the leftover pythons to secure my footing, as I said.
All right, you're climbing gear. You ascend, and Li Wei, are you following after? You staying outside? This is the job that decides whether or not your
Right,
life continues.
I'm definitely following.
Yeah, so you guys get in here. You notice something. You're not the first people here. Someone's tossed some papers. You don't know who, you don't know why, but there are some things that are lying out that they seem to have focused on, but maybe some of them fell out of their hands while they were leaving. You could check that, but you could also just start cicadaing the fuck out of the paper.
I'll take a look if it's suspicious. If it seems like there's something amiss that Fazel, like, because I haven't been in here yet, but I think Fazel, you would have noticed, like, if
Have I been
something-
inside the place?
No. Fazel just saw through the window, just through the reflection, so
Oh,
Fazel hasn't really
shoot.
investigated
Okay.
closely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably take a quick look, just curious about
Yeah,
what people.
there's a piece of paper saying, it's ripped off, but it says, known as the Society of the Emerald Heart. Our objectives may align, but we fear they set their timetable behind ours. With the death, with the loss of their key player, we feel our opponent may soon lose the board. But he who strikes last strikes best, so long as he yet lives. And yeah, that's an interesting piece of paper. And
Emerald.
yeah, Society of the Emerald Heart. And in fact, you see a little something scrawled on one of these pieces of paper. It's a torn note. Seems to have been deliberately destroyed. But right next to each other by a line, you can see there's a drawing of an emerald rose next to this title, Society of the Emerald Heart. When you hold them together, it looks a lot like the rug in the Fifth Watch.
Hey.
What does this remind you of?
Oh, show leeway.
You've been in here. You've been in here for about 5 minutes.
Oh, let's bug bomb this bar. This motherfucker.
Right. Yeah.
Do you try and grab anything, or do you just everything is torched?
I think everything. We've got at the very least this detail in our heads, but I don't know.
Let's
if we have
also
enough
make
time.
sure that your evidence is here still.
That's a good call, Fazel. I'd be dead without you.
Yeah, and you guys hear violence, crashing, blades unsheathing downstairs. You ready to drop the bug bomb?
Yep, cicadas and termites and moths and locusts. Oh my!
All right, so the bugs begin to devour everything in the fucking room as you hold up the scroll and it burns away, just like the one held by that wizard from the core. But the paper and ashes turn out, expand, fly in a hive around Fazil, and then forming, descend, and crash like a wave of beads, but just the ravenous clicking sounds of their carapaces as they feast.
And Basil's got like a wand that's rapidly being eaten by termites, and he's like He's like standing on something and looking like a conductor, like Mickey
Basil.
Mouse in that one movie.
Basil conducts the decay of all of these devices, and as one of the pieces of paper is blown apart, and the book is being chewed at, Leeway, you can't help but notice that one says, "We must rely on Kenrick." The piece of paper torn apart. You don't even know if it's the same Kenrick you know, but the book is gone. It evaporates in a series of numbers and letters and characters. Everything here is being destroyed. The violence downstairs is escalating. You hear someone scream out, "Argh!" And there's distant violence.
Okay. All right. At this point, have the insects eaten up all the documents?
The insects are still feasting. They haven't eaten everything yet. They're ripping apart, but they're not done yet. How long does this spell last, Greg?
I will tell you in a moment when I learn that information.
So you guys are busy, right? And you hear your paper. You remember somebody was coming back to town today, and you see Kedrick Broland has climbed up your rope, and he has his weapon out. He sees you. He says, "Li Wei."
Kedrick?
He says, "You're here. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, this is ingenious." He sees the insects flying around. He looks at you, not sure what to say, and then says, "Right." And you can see he has a flask of oil on his hip. And he says, "Of course." And lowers his blade, and he says, "There's a fight down below. A distraction. We need to get out of here."
Yeah. We've got to make sure that it's all taken care of.
Absolutely. And yeah, you hear motion downstairs. It sounds like some of the fights might be headed towards the stairs, might be coming closer to this room, and the insects, they're burning and they're burning and they're burning through. Greg, what is your casting stat?
Wisdom.
Roll me a pure wisdom check to conduct.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so Fazil stood there just conducting, waving his hands, chewing through all of the paper. And Kedrick says, "Well, an unfortunate piece of business, but when this is done, everything will go back to normal." Yeah.
Can I use the Bardic Inspiration on that?
You can. As the Bardic Toot from earlier gives you a d6.
Yes!
A 7.
Yes!
At first, you're digging. And then you remember that simple doo-doo that you played for him earlier, Li Wei. And in his conducting, you see doo-doo, doo-doo, rising, driving them on and on as you inspire the destruction of the papers that would hold you back.
I make the cicadas do Darude Sandstorm.
Yes!
The door is being knocked out as some man's body thuds into it, and there's a clang and slash of blades. The last of the papers is being consumed, and he says, quickly, you two go first." And he steps over here, weapon out, and says, "I'll hold them off."
Kedrick, thank you.
Of course. What else are business associates for?
Yeah. All right, Fazil, let's go.
Let's hit it.
All right, and with that, Basil and Li Wei hot rope the fuck out of here. The fog covers you as you run to your steeds, mount them, and ride out. Later that night, a raid comes, but not before there are already soldiers there to discover there's been a bloodbath earlier. Private security has been attacked by what people are reporting to be bandits or assassins of some sort. There's a lot of blood, and the papers have been chewed apart. And the wood, all that comes back officially that you guys hear of in the castle is there was a room where information was supposed to be stored. It had been utterly gutted, as if though insects had gotten into it. And meanwhile, Fazil, you're enjoying like a nice, breakfast one day in the Great Hall.
Oh yes.
And you're chilling. Your coworkers and everybody's here. And you find something. Or rather, someone comes up to you and says, "My good master of the hunt, hello." And you recognize him. He's the Chamberlain. He's a co-worker of yours.
Ah, Chamberlain. How are you this fine morning?
Basil will say with a piece of ham.
Mm-hmm. And he says, "Oh, I'm doing just fine. But I do have a question for you. I recently filled out a check that you cut."
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for requesting the receipt.
Of course. I couldn't help but notice that it seems that you purchased a scroll from a local business. Wonderful.
Yes, Scroll of Fog Cloud.
Yes, it did mention that it was of some nature. So, can I ask what occasion you had for a smokescreen?
Well, as Master of the Hunt, it's always important to have some sort of aerosol kind of repellent. Fog cloud often makes a good vehicle for such things.
Yeah, so Vorion von Vertz looks at you, says, "Indeed. I felt it unnecessary to record the nature of the scroll, however, so I have committed to my papers an amended receipt." You get the sense that he knows something or suspects something, and has just informed you that he's changed the paperwork to slightly cover your trail.
Oh, I'm so bad with spelling checks. I do, once again, have to commend your forward thinking.
Of course. As always, a pleasure to be friends with one's colleagues. And with that, he walks on. Li Wei, you're in your room one night when Sigrun comes in. And he says, "I hope now is a good time to talk."
Yeah. What's up?
He comes in, and he says, "We should sit." And you sit down at the table, and he comes to you, and he says, "Li Wei, as you know, my boy Daichi has shown incredible abilities. Incredible abilities as a cleric.
Yeah.
And has taken the claw. I now have one son. To hold the lineal flame on one's own drains you of your years. Swifter than anything else. Turns you to bone. It's hard. It's been hard for me. I've had my wife. But he doesn't. You, Chun Li Wei, you are a man of outstanding character. You haven't sat around your whole life and waited for something to happen to you. You've gone out and gotten it.
Yeah. Of course.
Do you remember my words to you the other day?
Yeah, there were so many though.
I want to ask this of you. It is not an easy burden.
Okay.
In the coming seasons, Yannick will take the flame. I want you to be enkindled alongside him. I will be frank. I have learned of your past. But I am not a man to stand on ceremony or judge people for what they have done to rise from their conditions. I know as a young boy you used to be mischievous, and perhaps you scammed some fools for their coins, but I don't care about any of that. Clearly, in the castle, under our tutelage, you have become a morally upright figure. So, will you hold the flame with him? Will you be enkindled alongside him? And will you accept as punishment for your crimes that I pass now upon you to be Yannick's bodyguard in all things, whether his flesh is there or not, defend his character, defend his honor, defend his realm, and defend his life?
It would be my honor.
And so I sentence you. And he says, right, clap the table, let's go have a drink. And with that, we find ourselves at the end of Reign of Roses, episode 2, as episode 2.5, as Emerald Blooms.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thank you all for coming out. We ran slightly over tonight. Thank you, Mouse, for the bits.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
So everyone, so we do have a moment here for a little feedback phase aside. Greg, you don't do like a full like say what you want to see more of, but just any like what do you think that the top thoughts of Fazal are right now? What do you think your top thoughts are?
Basil is partly kicking himself for not tying up all the loose ends and wondering if he can trust the Chamberlain and hoping he can. He feels like he can, but he's like, we might have just traded one favor for another, but at least this guy probably doesn't kill people for favors. So I don't know, maybe that's probably like his line of thought. That's just front most line of thought right now. Yeah.
All right. And what about the Greg?
It's something that I can only send to you in meme form.
I see.
But
also, before we close out here, exclamation mark Greg, get your 3D models, exclamation mark Matt.
Yes.
The RPG.
If you'd like this VTuber model and you want your own and other stuff, I make them. I made Basil's hair custom because, you know, there's a lot of things you just got to make custom in some of these. And I'd like to think a little better at making things custom. And so I would like to make something custom for you.
Oh,
hell yeah.
Amazing. All right, so Greg, you can listen to me for Matt, so we can call it off here. I know I'm dragging this. Matt, what are Leeway's top thoughts at the moment, and what are your player thoughts at the moment?
So Leeway, top thought is just, phew, we're safe, we're good. And I mean, I think Leeway is extremely grateful to Fazal because, oh my gosh, every moment Fazal was coming through. When Leeway is getting shot by acid arrows, we're trying to get away, Fazal is just unleashing the beast.
Yo, we got hell rained on us with those acid arrows.
Right? Oh my gosh, it was crazy. So like Leeway is holding Fazl up in like the highest of like people that he can trust. But then for Matt, like my my top thought is I'm so stressed out. Holy crap. Like every moment. There's just so many times there where I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? And it's like they're just the tension of not sure if the Lord is aware and all that.
Oh,
my
man,
gosh.
that part, like every
Holy
time,
crap.
there's
Yeah.
just so much like,
Goodness. So yeah, those are my thoughts, but it was delightful. It's like a good stress.
Nice. All right.
you know
well,
what it is? If you've ever been like in marching band or whatever and had like that band leader, you know, the one it sucks to have. That's what it feels
Yeah.
like talking to the king. It's like, are you gonna make me do like 1,000 laps, or are you gonna like be like good job? What
Right.
I gotta make
right.
sure we
Oh my
total
gosh.
right line here.
Yeah. Yeah. It was great. But yeah, that's all I've got.
Yeah, well, thank you all for coming out. We're rating Insomnia Nights. Don't forget to check out Matt on Improv and RPG, all that in the description. I'm striking raid. All right, and yeah, don't worry, you'll have a stress-free time in next episode, episode 3, The Path Through Fire and War, Part 1.
Yeah, that's just a sauna. Actually,
it sounds super stress-free.
Yeah, it's stress-free. It's
actually
it's a wellness clinic.
The wellness war. Yeah.
The war.
I'm shutting down.
Wellness.
We're gonna pop the raid and boom. All right, I'm popping us over raid.